The War of the Worlds. Paul Daneman plays John Nicholson in this 6-part radio adaptation by John Manship White of the novel by H.G. Wells. The War of the Worlds, Part 1, The Red Planet.
I was in it from the start. I missed very few of those terrible events. Of course, I have contributed papers on aspects of the War of the Worlds to various learned journals. After all, I'm a scientist. But up till now, I've never cared to discuss the horrible affair. Well, not in its entirety. I remember that first night very clearly. All too clearly. Yes. A strange night it was. A clear night in June. Nearly midnight. In the observatory at Ottershaw with my assistant, Ogilvy. Ogilvy might have made a great name for himself, poor chap. If he'd lived through it. That midnight vigil, prologue to many nightmare weeks, is stamped on my memory. The black and silent observatory, the shadowed light on top of a bank of instruments shedding a feeble glow, the great bulk of the telescope, the big oblong window high up in the rounded roof, with the pale nebulae streaked across it, and the mechanism that rotated the telescope, ticking, ticking, ticking. I was lying back in a big adjustable chair, gazing through the telescope. I stared intently at a deep blue circle with a tiny planet in it. Sounds innocent enough. A little planet, bright and small and still, faintly marked with transverse stripes, slightly flattened at the poles. So little, so silvery warm, a pin's head of light, 40 million miles away. But that little planet was the red planet, Mars.
Well, anything happening?
Nothing unusual.
Do you think old Davidson's right?
I don't see why not.
Well, I don't, frankly. They've made bloomers at Greenwich before. The opposition in 33, for instance.
What about Laidler's report from Singapore?
Even Laidler isn't infallible, Nicholson.
Yes, you're right. Laidler's too definite. What does he say in his cable? A mass of incandescent gas, chiefly hydrogen. How did it go?
Moving with enormous velocity towards the Earth.
Yes, the report does sound a bit highly coloured, come to think of it. But Laidler's always been very sound.
Well, I think it's a shower of meteorites, myself.
You've had meteorites on the brain ever since you were an undergraduate.
Well, what about some sort of implosion, then?
From what we know about Mars, it's not very likely.
Oh, I don't know. And what's your guess, anyway?
Well, you know what a crank I am.
I suppose you've already cooked up some extra special explanation.
As a matter of fact, I have.
Well, let's hear the worst.
Isn't it just possible that someone is firing something?
Firing? Oh, my dear chap, really? That's pretty tall, you know, even for you.
I don't see that it's so fantastic to suggest that Mars is inhabited.
Oh.
Not these days. We're not as dogmatic about these things as people were 30 years ago. Even 10 years ago.
The chances are 1,000,000 to 1, several million to 1.
So what?
Well, the whole
with
thing's
all
not...
these millions of stars up there, the odds mightn't be as great as you think.
Millions and millions to 1.
Anyway, I know one thing.
What?
If I were on Mars, Ogilvy, I'd be making strenuous efforts to get away from it.
What do you mean?
Well, look, let's suppose for a minute that Mars is inhabited.
Okay, let's suppose.
Mm-hmm. Well, to begin with, it's 35 million miles further from the sun than the Earth is, agreed?
Agreed.
Now, Mars gets only half as much heat and light from the sun as we do. Agreed again?
Agreed, oh, Socrates.
If the nebula hypothesis is true, then, in addition to being colder and darker, it's older than the Earth. All right?
So far.
And since it's older, it's also nearer life's end.
I have an awful feeling, old chap, that at any moment you're going to start talking rubbish.
Mars has cooled more than the Earth has. Even at the equator, its temperature is as cold as December in England. The air is scarcer there. The oceans have shrunk and dwindled. The glaciers and ice caps are creeping forward, inch by inch. There are terrible floods.
In fact, these Martians of yours are in a hell of a mess.
By now, the Martians must be perilously near exhaustion. They're nearing life's end, facing extinction, lingering death, descent into numb horror. But Mars is older than the Earth. Intellectually, the Martians must be further advanced than we are by several million years.
For all you know, they may be dead stupid or even raving lunatics.
No. I feel their minds are more intricate, more highly evolved. Their science, their mathematics are by this time at a stage that's left ours far, far behind. They're capable of staggering calculations, breathtaking feats of construction. They may by now be well equipped to move sunwards. Well, that's what they want to do. Move sunward. 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 Always sunward. Away from the outer darkness at the chill periphery of the universe.
An impressive flight of fancy.
I wonder what they look like, these strange, stellar neighbours of ours. And I wonder what we look like to them. They peer through their elaborate telescopes and see... What do they see? The human race? And they contemplate the human race in the way we contemplate monkeys and lemurs, as talented members of the animal kingdom, beasts that perish. Have you ever watched amoeba under a microscope, Ogilvy?
Yes, I have.
Well, that's how we appear through the gigantic telescope on Mars. Puny, contemptible little atomies, ripe for annihilation. They peer across the sky and see that Earth teems with life. It's a planet of hope. And they determine to conquer it in their desperate surge towards the great blazing golden disk of the sun. The Earth is warm. The Earth is inviting. Good God.
What is it? What's up?
Hey, Mars. It's a cloud of gas, quite clear.
Notebook. Exact time, 12:04. And quick, Nicholson, let's have the description.
A reddish flash at edge. A great orange gush from the centre.
Orange gush from centre.
Very slight conjection of outline. It's almost imperceptible. Thin, grey, fluctuating patches spreading through the entire field of vision.
That's odd.
Patches now beginning to obscure the familiar features.
Obscure familiar features. Right, got it. Anything else?
No. It seems to be all for the present.
Well, I still say it's a shower of meteorites.
Meteorites?
So what's wrong with meteorites?
I've told you. Someone's firing at us.
It won't do, old man. It won't do at all.
Well, I'm jolly tired. I've been watching too long. I've got green and purple patches in front of my eyes.
I'm not going to believe you, you know. It's no use trying to tell me that something's flying towards us, across that incredible distance.
Flying swiftly and steadily, 1,000 miles a minute.
No, it's all rot, Nicholson.
A mass of incandescent gas, chiefly hydrogen, moving with enormous velocity towards this Earth.
Davidson and Laidler are a couple of doddering old fools.
You know what that flash reminded me of?
What?
A colossal sheet of flame you get when a rocket lifts off.
A rocket? You think it's produced by a rocket? You're crazy.
And I think those grey patches of cloud may have been the smoke that followed the blast off.
If you aren't careful, Nicholson, fairly soon one of our leading astronomers is going to be drummed out of the Royal Society.
Oh, well. I'm entitled to my opinion.
I tell you, the chances against Mars being inhabited are 1,000,000 to 1.
I think they're on their way, Ogilvy. Rushing through outer space towards us. Creatures with minds more ancient, more cruel, more comprehensive than our own. Intellects vast and cool and unsympathetic. Bent on migrating sunwards. Bent on the extermination of the monkeys and the lemurs. A few weeks later, it arrived. The first of the falling stars, as we called them at the time. It was seen early in the morning, high over Winchester, rushing eastwards with a broad green streak in its wake. Must have been a very pretty sight. Hundreds of people must have seen its final plunge to Earth. Unfortunately, I missed it. All right. I'm coming. Wait a minute. Ogilvy.
Come on, old man. Oh, had your breakfast?
But damn it all, I haven't started it yet. What's happened?
A meteorite's fallen. A whacking great meteorite.
You and your blasted meteorite.
Look, if we hustle, we'll get there first before anyone starts fooling around with it.
What, do you mean it's here? In Surrey?
Oh, right on your own doorstep.
Well, I'm blown.
Didn't you feel the thump?
No.
It's up on Horsell Common.
On the Common? My God. All right, hold on. I'll go and get my camera.
Well, hurry up.
Yeah.
I've got my car.
Yeah, oh, I better tell Dora I'm going out.
What a bit of luck, eh? And just when I'm writing a book on the damn thing.
Well, it's a good job it didn't fall on Woking.
Another couple of miles and it would have done. Bang in the high street.
Dora!
What is it, dear?
I'm going out with Ogilvy.
You haven't had your breakfast yet.
Yeah, well, something's turned up. It's rather important.
Well, don't be late.
Look, for heaven's sake, man, come on.
What part of the Commons it landed on?
Near the sandpits.
Oh, well, what about a map? We'd better mark it, hadn't we? What about measuring?
Come on, for heaven's sake, or we'll have half the village up there poking about before we can stop them.
Well, we're not policemen, damn it. We're scientists. Oh, nobody's going to steal your blessed meteorite, are they?
Well, they might chip bits off for souvenirs or something, if it's cooled down enough for them to get near it. Do you mind? Thank you. Excuse me. Okay.
Thank you. Please, let me make way.
Do you mind? Oh, what a mob. Oh, what did I tell you? There must be half the county here.
Never mind. No damage done. Old Holroyd seems to be keeping him in order. He must have nipped up on his moped.
Now then, keep back, please.
Well, he stopped them getting down into the crater, anyway.
Here, you kids. Stop chucking stones at the thing. I'm not going to tell you again. You go on home to your mothers.
Good morning, Sergeant.
Good morning, Mr. Ogilvy.
Well, you got up here quickly.
I caged a lift in the squad car, sir.
Well, you managed to keep the hole clear, I see.
I thought you gentlemen from the observatory might want to come along and take a look at it. And no sense in mucking about with it. Constable, keep those kids out of the way.
Sergeant, I've sent a wire to Sir James Stent, the Astronomer Royal.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, he's our colleague. Our superior, actually. He's driving down from London.
I see, sir.
Now, what about you and that officer over there, getting a local farmer to rig up a light railing round the thing?
I'll have a try, sir. Anything to stop these brats from breaking their necks.
Good.
Certainly came down with a bump, Ogilvy. Spattered sand and gravel all over the shop.
Set a good half-mile of bracken alight, too.
Top of it's rammed 20 feet below ground level.
Must have been travelling at a really colossal speed.
Yes. Yes, when you make allowance for it burying itself in fairly soft sand.
Looks pretty formidable from up here.
Formidable?
Well, sinister.
Yeah, well, it's no good hanging about and staring at it with our mouths open like everyone else. Come on, let's go down and inspect it at close quarters.
I say, look at the earth and turf round the crater. All charred. What's that, do you think?
Probably some sort of fire flash on impact, I think.
Sergeant. Sir?
We're going to go down into the pit.
Right you are, sir. I sent the constable to see about getting some sheep hurdles or some chicken wire and wooden stakes.
Good man.
There'll be another squad car along in a minute.
Good. Come on, Ogilvy. We won't need a ladder.
Right.
Let's hang on the edge and lower your body and let go. We can take it in 2 stages.
You go first.
It's quite an easy drop.
Look at the size of it. The great-grandfather of all meteorites.
What do you reckon it is across? 50 feet?
I'm more like 60.
Mm-hmm. Ogilvy, I thought meteorites were round.
Well, so they are as a general rule, especially large ones.
Well, you take a good look at this one.
Yes, I see what you mean.
This one's definitely cylinder-shaped. It's very odd. Let's have a scrape at this clinker stuff on it. Oh, comes off quite easily. That's the effects of combustion, I suppose. It's clinker, all right. Grey clinker. Unusual texture.
What?
Your meteorite's still pretty warm, Ogilvy. That's not surprising, I suppose, when you think of the friction coming down through the atmosphere.
I'm making a rough drawing of it.
Hey, look at the stuff, this clinker. Sort of scaly.
You've done some metallurgy, haven't you? What do you make of it?
I don't know. Don't know at all. And what's more, I don't know why we were prattling about this being cylinder-shaped. It is a cylinder.
What? You're right.
Listen, I'll use this bit of rock. Huh? Huh? That's metal. No doubt about it.
You know, I'm starting to dislike the thing. It looks like a half-buried gasometer.
This grey, scaly material isn't a common oxide either. I don't know. Did you see it land?
Yes, I was shaving, actually. It had a kind of long, emerald-coloured tail.
Emerald-coloured, was it? I wonder what sort of oxide would give off a colour as bright as this. I don't hear anything. Oh, yes. Yes, a sort of a crinkling noise. Well, that's the unequal cooling of the cylinder's surface, I suppose.
Look here. This, cylinder business. Are you suggesting this thing isn't a meteorite at all?
I should have thought that was pretty obvious.
Well, then what the devil is it?
You remember what we saw when we were watching Mars last month?
You mean you connect it with those flashes?
Certainly I would. Was Laidler ever proved wrong?
Well, no.
This cylinder was made by human hands. Well, by Martian hands, anyway. If they've got hands, that is.
You'll be telling me next it's got messages and coins and models in it. Like the cylinders they sink below foundation stone.
Yeah. It's an exciting possibility. It's cooling fast.
What was that?
Well, it's only those children throwing stones, I think. Or more scales dropping off it as it loses heat. There's There's a slight crack in the shell here. Nothing much. I can just see what the metal's like inside. It's a kind of yellowish white. Oh, whatever it is, we'd better label it extraterrestrial for the time being and leave it at that.
Nicholson.
Yeah, hey, here, this crack's wider than it was a moment ago.
Nicholson. The circular top.
What?
It's rotating.
What?
That black mark. It was over here 5 minutes ago. Now it's travelling round the other side. There. It's moved another couple of inches.
This is fantastic. That sound is from the inside of this cylinder.
Oh, my God. There must be a man in it. There must be men in it.
Now, keep your head open, for God's sake.
You've got to do
Something wrong down there, Mr. Ogilvy.
There are living people in there. They're half roasted to death.
Calm down, man.
Yes, but...
Hey,
Calm down.
Nicholson, they're trying to escape. They're trying to get out.
here. You want a hand down there?
We've got to get out of this hole. Go with me, Nicholson. We've got to get help for them, I tell you. Workmen on pickaxes, levers, anything.
Don't be a fool, Ogilvy. Go with me. You don't know what's in there. They may need less help than you think.
No, we've got to get them out.
Wait. Hey, Sergeant!
Sir,
Have you got a rope up there?
God, what can we do?
there'll be one in the boot of the car, sir.
Well, throw one end down, will you? Mr. Ogilvy's coming up.
Hello down there.
Nicholson.
Nicholson?
It's
What's
stench.
going
I
on?
mean, we've got to help them.
For heaven's sake, get a grip on yourself, Ogilvy. You don't want him to see you like this, do you?
You lucky beggars bagging all the glory. Well, stand clear. I'm coming down.
No, don't do that, Sir James.
What?
Don't do that.
Well, why not?
Tell him.
The top's unscrewing.
What top? What top?
This isn't a meteorite.
Not a meteorite.
No, don't come down. Ogilvy will tell you about things when he's up there.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen any minute now.
Well, I think you two had better pack up down there for a while.
Oh, my God.
Here's the rope, Mr. Nicholson. Coming down now.
Right, all right. Got it.
Here, let's have that.
Now, now listen, Ogilvy, get up there.
Right.
And explain things to Still.
Yeah.
I think you can manage.
I think so.
Good. All the way, Holroyd.
Righto, sir.
And Holroyd,
Sir?
clear everyone off the common.
I will, sir. Right away.
Aren't you coming, Nicholson?
When you're up the top, leave the rope where it is. I may need it in a hurry.
Well, don't leave it too long.
I was alone in the pit. By this time, 2 feet of shining screw projected at the enormously thick top of the cylinder. I remember beating on it with a stick. Heaven knows what effect I imagined that would have. I probably had a mental picture of a crowd of poor devils inside, sizzling, blackened and helpless. Air began to escape from the interior. I kept a wary eye on that rope. I was petrified. But I was also, at the same time, intensely curious. That crinkling. It only suggested a feeble stirring, but the shell was thick. It may have represented an agonized tumult. I wanted to be the first to see the Martians. I can't recall what I expected them to look like. Whatever I expected, I was wrong. Utterly, abysmally wrong. There were faces craning over the top of the hole. Holroyd, Stent, Ogilvy, Greg the butcher and his little boy, a couple of golf caddies, a jobbing gardener I sometimes employed.
Do you hear, Nicholson? Come out of there. What's going on? Nicholson!
Stand by up there! I'm coming up!
Out!
I seized the rope and scrambled up the burnt grass and charred gravel of the crater. Below me, I heard a curious noise. Everyone was scattering. The whole crowd was fanning out over the heath. A couple of people nearly fell in the hole in their haste to elbow their way through the crowd. Everyone was legging it like hares. Stent and Ogilvy went with the rest, and Holroyd brought up the rear. I was on the lip of the crater now. For a moment, I thought of running for it with the others, but instead, I flung myself down and crawled cautiously back to the edge. The lid had fallen off. Suddenly, I found myself staring down into a huge, dark cavity, a great, black, empty circle. I couldn't see anything at first, and then something stirring in the shadow. Grayish, billowy movements, one above the other. And then, two luminous discs, like eyes.
In Part 1 of The War of the Worlds, adapted by John Manship White from the novel by H.G. Wells, Paul Daneman played John Nicholson, and Martin Jarvis his assistant Ogilvy. The sound score is by David Kane of the BBC Radiophonic Workshop, and the serial is produced by John Powell. The War of the Worlds. Paul Daneman plays John Nicholson in this six-part radio adaptation by John Manship White of the novel by H.G. Wells. The War of the Worlds, Part 2, The Heat Ray.
I've already told you how Ogilvy and I watched the 10 gigantic flashes from Mars from my observatory at Ottershaw. I had a pretty shrewd idea what those flashes meant. Rockets. Ogilvy laughed at the idea, of course. It's not exactly the sort of thing you expect to hear from a fellow of the Royal Society, I admit. Well, it so happened that I was right, and my chief assistant was wrong. Worse luck. The first falling star, as we called it, arrived not long afterwards. A huge comet which left a vivid green trail blazoned across the sky, a trail which heralded, had we only known it, the disasters ahead. It fell on Horsell Common, and Ogilvy dragged me out of my house at an unholy hour of the morning to drive over and inspect this so-called meteorite. But we got a nasty shock, because it wasn't a meteorite. It was a cylinder nearly 60 feet across and made of some strange metal. And that wasn't all, not by a long way. There was something in it trying to get out, unscrewing the giant cap of the cylinder from inside. At that point, the whole crowd round the crater broke and ran for it, and I don't blame them. Everyone ran. Except me, that is. I stayed behind. Well, not out of sheer bravado, mind you, but simply out of curiosity. Scientific curiosity. Unless you're a scientist, it's difficult to imagine just how strong that curiosity can be. I crawled back to the lip of that huge crater, and I peered downwards. I wanted passionately to take a look at these creatures from the back of beyond. At first, the inside of the cylinder was pitch black, a gaping void. And then, above the rim, I saw two luminous discs. Eyes. A wavy feeler, like an octopus's tentacle, gripped the top of the casing. Another swayed in the air. A big, greyish, bear-like bulk heaved itself slowly, painfully out of the cylinder. As it bulged up, it glistened like wet leather. It was a revolting sight, I can tell you. The brute fixed its great yellow eyes on me without blinking. And what eyes! No forehead above them, just a thin ridge of bone, and then a flat bald top to the skull. Suddenly it lost its hold on the rim of the cylinder. Its feelers waved in the air, and the creature toppled sideways onto the sand and gravel, like a thick mass of sodden leather.
Nicholson! God save Nicholson!
At that moment, with a merciful return to sanity, I forgot clean about scientific curiosity, and I ran away from that abominable pit just as fast as my legs would carry me. Stent! Ogilvy!
We're over here!
This way, man! Behind the trees!
That's it. Take it easy. Through here.
Sit down.
Thanks. No, what did you see?
Oh, God.
Well, get your breath back and tell us what you saw.
You did see them, didn't you?
Yeah, I should say I did. Oh, are we under cover here?
Yes. I'll get behind this bush and keep an eye on them. Oh, we sent Sergeant Holroyd back in the squad car. Sir James told him to get more police and helicopters. And there'll be jeeps with soldiers coming up from Aldershot, perhaps recce cars as well.
Ogilvy, can you hear if they're still keeping up that humming sound?
No, it doesn't seem to be there now.
It started just before the top fell off the cylinder.
Yes, I know. That's why I bolted.
Well, it may be some sort of air conditioning apparatus inside the cylinder.
A generator of some sort.
Or a battery for the lighting system.
I didn't see any light inside the thing. Looked pitch black.
Well, do you think they can see in the dark?
For all I know.
What do they look like?
Yes, are they like us? Hands and feet and faces and so on.
Well, I only saw one of them, to be exact. One was enough. Well, they're horrible. They're really horrible. Or rather, it was.
Well, go on, man.
Well, to start off with, they've got large, prominent eyes. And they haven't got any tops to their heads.
Nothing above the eyes.
No chins either. Only a wedge-like lower lip.
They've got mouths, then.
Yes, they have. They're V-shaped. They're quivering all the time. Yeah, they drool, too. Sort of pink and frothy saliva. And each side of their mouth, there are bunches of straggly feelers. Like seaweed.
Good heavens.
Yeah, the whole body's stent. The whole bodies, they quiver. They're not just their mouths. They pulsate convulsively. And they've got tentacles, like a giant squid.
What do you mean, pulsate?
Well, it's like breathing. It's as if their whole bodies are breathing. I don't think they're accustomed to our atmosphere yet.
Very likely.
The one I saw was hopelessly clumsy anyway. It crawled out of the cylinder like a man-sized slug.
Well, it's the Earth's greater gravitational pull.
You think so?
Well, they may be as lively as grasshoppers up there on Mars.
Mars? You've changed your mind then, have you, Sir James? Like Ogilvy.
Well, what do you mean?
You think I was right about those flashes then, last June?
Well, I've been a bit rough on you, Nicholson, but I'm sorry.
I wish to hell I'd been wrong.
Wrong? Good Lord, Why, man, this is the most exciting moment in the whole history of science.
Well, in the history of the world.
All the same, it's a moment I wish had never arrived.
Why?
Because if they've invented rockets, they've invented other things as well.
What things?
Weapons.
Weapons? Oh.
As engineers, they're geniuses. Look, imagine thinking up and putting together a rocket like that one out there.
What beats me is how they managed to navigate the thing. I mean, they could have missed the Earth completely, gone spinning down into eternity.
But they didn't, did they? They made a landing not far from one of the biggest and most important cities in the world.
Oh, that must have been pure chance.
Why? They saw London on their scanners, or whatever they have, and they guessed what it was. One of the nerve centres of civilization. Knock out London, paralyse it, flatten it, your campaign's half over.
Campaign? What are you blathering about, Nicholson?
He's obsessed by the idea the Martians are finding it difficult to exist on their own planet, Sir James, and they're starting to swarm sunwards.
No. I can't agree with that, Nicholson. Well, I think they came down in Surrey quite by accident.
Yeah.
A pure fluke.
It looks like deliberate calculation to me. If they can build space rockets, they can navigate them. Look, don't you see what this means? Can't you grasp what's going on? We're up against a people 1,000 times more technically proficient than we are.
No.
These people are already navigating themselves accurately across millions upon millions of miles of space.
Millions of miles of sweet damn all.
Oh, God.
They must have been propelled by a devastatingly powerful fuel. Well, it's a wonder they weren't all killed by the concussion.
Well, there you are, you see. They've not only solved some nice little problems in aeronautics, they're pretty well up in ballistics as well.
Yeah, where are those extra police from the copters?
Ogilvy, keep your head down. Is there anything moving?
No, I can't see anything.
Well, Nicholson, whatever weapons they've brought with them, it's my guess they can't do much harm. And anyway, they mightn't be particularly warlike.
They've come here to conquer us. They're going to try and take our planet away from us. Can't you see that?
No, they're not showing much conquering spirit yet, anyhow. A miserable bit of humming, nothing else. And if they're flapping about as clumsily as you say they are, they can't hold troops or gunners off for long. Now, where the devil are the troops?
Now, when they arrive, I'll go along and have a word with whoever's in charge. We don't want those creatures destroyed, whatever happens. They've got to be kept alive and kicking.
In the sacred name of science.
We don't want to carry out postmortems on a few meaningless strips of flesh.
Sir James, I wonder if a show of goodwill would be any use.
Goodwill?
Well, it might, Ogilvy. I don't see why we should put the wind up them. We'll try a little gentle persuasion first.
I'd try it at a safe distance if I were you.
Oh, people from another planet, eh? A planet we've been gazing at hungrily through our telescopes all our lives.
Yes, a planet I wrote my thesis on 5 years ago.
Oh, my God, Nicholson. What wouldn't Galileo or Kepler or Copernicus have given to be where we are now?
Waiting for the inhabitants of another world to take a stroll on the English Downs.
Take a stroll. Oh, there's still no signs of life out there.
No, not yet.
Look, I want to get back home.
Home?
I won't be long. Dora may be worrying. And I've got a meeting this afternoon. I have to phone and put it off.
You can't leave now. They might appear at any minute, damn it.
I've seen enough for one day.
Well, I don't mind admitting I'm excited.
So am I. I wish those things in the crate would get a move on.
Well, don't be in such a hurry. We may all be sorry when they do.
Ah, nonsense.
Well, I'm glad I can tell Dora the army's moving in. She's got tremendous faith in the army. Her father was a general.
We'll be in the same spot when you get back. Don't be long.
I won't, don't worry.
Well, why not bring Dora back with you?
No. I think we ought to take things very slowly and very carefully.
Don't worry, Nicholson. We'll be all right.
Well, for God's sake, keep away from that crater, anyway.
We might try signalling. You know, something easy for them to cotton on to.
And if they don't understand...
Well, just something simple and reassuring. A gesture of friendship.
Stead, I'm quite serious about this. Keep away. For all you know, they may be desperate or mad with terror.
Have you always been frightened of bogeymen, Nicholson?
Nicholson, I won't have them harmed. To me, they're a collection of priceless scientific specimens.
Yes, but they're not safely stuffed or behind bars or tucked away under glass.
Shall I be frank with you?
Yes, do.
I think you overestimate the danger.
And I've got a feeling that in an hour or two we're going to find things moving a damn sight too fast for us.
And what does that mean?
Very soon the excess of oxygen and the lack of argon in the Earth's atmosphere is going to force them to act aggressively.
We'll worry about that when it happens.
Look, it's 2 o'clock. If Dora's heard this on the radio somewhere, she'll be frantic. Look, Sir James, I'd be glad if you left things exactly as they are until I get back.
Don't you trust my judgment?
Don't be such an old woman, Nicholson.
Scientific experiments at this stage could be pretty hazardous.
Look, we'd like to get in touch with them, that's all. To reassure them, convince them we're friendly.
We'll have a council of war when I get back. Decide on a definite course of action.
Thank you. We can look after ourselves, Nicholson.
Yes, you go off home and make your phone calls.
And that was the last time I was to talk to them. I set off homewards with an anxious mind. Sir James was impetuous, inclined at times to be domineering. He could easily upset the apple cart by doing something impulsively, which, of course, was just what he did do, with ghastly consequences. I felt a definite sense of foreboding. I also felt a stubborn determination to see this thing out to the end. I could see a couple of helicopters come hopping over the hedges. And round the corner of the road leading off the common, on the way back to my car, I ran slap into a column of trucks with the badge of the Royal Engineers on them. They proved to be extremely resourceful and acute. Well, you chaps certainly got here quickly. I make it 14 minutes.
We came up from Inkerman Barracks, sir.
Just come off the heat, sir.
Yes.
Seen anything of these things yet?
Things?
Well, that's what they are, isn't it?
The only thing we know is what we heard on the radio.
They chipped in with a special news flash.
As soon as you can.
Sergeant.
Well, they aren't wasting any time. They'll have half the army down here soon.
Just look at those helicopters.
I'm glad you're here in force anyway. It's best not to take any chances with things like these.
Rum looking, aren't they?
That's the understatement of the century.
Well, there's a half battery of gunners coming along. Harris, what is the time?
Best thing might be to finish them right off. Shell them to blazes.
The ring of soldiers right round the common, is there?
Yes, sir.
Those copters are around, too.
Well, good hunting, Lieutenant. I'll be on my way. I'll try to get back before the excitement starts.
Thank you, sir. I don't expect we'll be here very long.
Look, Dora, you've got to stop fretting. They've got hundreds and hundreds of bobbies and soldiers up there.
Well, I don't like it. But I'm glad they brought the troops in.
Yes, I thought you would be.
I think it's very wise. Will you have another cup of coffee?
No, thanks.
I wish you'd eat that sandwich.
I'm not hungry. I've got to get back.
I wish you wouldn't go, John.
It's as safe as houses.
I think I'd better come with you.
No. Now, you stay at home. Stand by.
I wish you wouldn't go.
There's nothing to be frightened of.
When will you be back?
Well, Lord knows, as soon as I can. Yeah, I'll probably be bringing Stenton Ogilvy with me.
Sir James! Well, heavens, I've got nothing in the house.
Dora, you amaze me.
Why?
Well, here you are, making me eat sandwiches and drink coffee and...
Oh, you men are just like children. When you go back, you can take Ogilvy and Sir James a thermos, and those sandwiches if you don't want them.
Dora, I believe you'd pack a picnic basket on the morning of Armageddon.
A good job you men have got women to look after you.
It's a wonder you let us wander around loose.
I do feel worried about you, John. Will you promise me not to do anything silly?
I give you my solemn word, darling. I'll use my limited male intelligence to the very best of my ability. How are the neighbours taking it?
Oh, quite calmly on the whole.
Good.
Mrs. Willoughby had hysterics, and she's been reciting the Book of Revelations in the shrubbery. Otherwise, nobody seems particularly upset.
Oh, that's fine.
I heard all about it from the milkman. Apparently it's business as usual down in the village.
Good. Well, I'll be back as quick as I can.
Darling?
No. Look, these Martians aren't all that horrifying. They're not the sort of people you'd ask along to the annual fete, perhaps.
Oh, horrible creatures.
Yes, but they can hardly manage to drag themselves about. The troops will be able to cope with them quite easily.
Well, you better wrap up well. It's chilly on the common.
Where's that thermos? Stint and Ogilvy might be glad of it at that.
Come into the kitchen.
I'll take a bottle of scotch as well.
Good idea. But that's brandy, darling.
Well, the Martians deserve a bit of a celebration, don't they?
I wish they'd go back to wherever they came from.
It's very considerate of them to have turned up at all. Huh. Did I tell you that Stint and Ogilvy have changed their mind about those flashes last June? Mm? They admit now they were rockets. Before long, they'll have to admit it in public.
Maybe. But I don't see why you have to open a bottle of your best brandy.
Well, I'd like the satisfaction of having drunk some of it. Mm? Well, in case it gets smashed or anything like that. I didn't know it, but that was the last cup of coffee I was destined to drink for very many strange and terrible days. I drank 2 stiff glasses of my best brandy, too, before I drove off. And an hour later, I was extremely glad I had. I parked the car and walked back to the common, passing my friends the officers. They were in position, standing by.
All ready now, sir.
Hello, sir. Come back to see the balloon go up.
And I was soon standing once more on the edge of the heath, knee-deep in bracken, chatting to a young helicopter pilot, a spotter for the artillery.
Sounds as though they're getting cracking out there at last, sir.
Oh?
Yeah, they've begun making enough racket for Hell's Kitchen.
Are they?
There are those black puffs of smoke, too.
Did they start at the same time as the hammering?
Yeah, about half an hour ago. Well, what do you think they're up to in that crater, anyway?
I wish to God we knew, Lieutenant.
Well, it looks as though they might have a shot or 2 in the locker.
Yes.
Well, it'll have to be something pretty special to stand all this lot off, I can tell you. Look at our copters, keeping an eye on them. Hell, we must have a couple of 1,000 men up here. And I reckon we'll have jets with napalm any minute.
Look. What's that?
Well, that thing. It's been poking up and down before. You want to take a look at it through my binoculars?
Yes. Thanks. Yeah. It's a sort of slender metal rod with a circular disc on top.
It keeps bobbing about, too.
Yes, twisting round.
Major Brady reckons it's some kind of signalling device.
It's much more likely to be some sort of gadget for watching what we're up to without exposing themselves.
Well, whatever it is, they're certainly working like beavers out there.
Sinister.
I think it's rather a novelty myself. Better than endless wreckage.
If only we knew a little bit more about them.
Oh, we're pretty adaptable. It won't take us long to get the hang of the kind of war they are used to.
I wonder.
What do you mean, sir?
They might not fight the kind of war we're used to.
Yeah, well, if things begin to look a bit unhealthy, they've got a couple of dozen guns laid dead on the crater, electronically.
Oh, don't let them blast them all to little bits, whatever you do. The astronomer royal will go out of his mind.
Who, Sir James Stent? Yeah. He was over here talking to the Major about things not long ago.
He wants them preserved at all costs. I think they're writing the labels at the Natural History Museum already.
Yeah, seems pretty anxious about it. He ought to be leading the deputation over any minute now.
Deputation?
Yeah, personally, I think he's a fool.
What's he up to?
I had a chap called Ogilvy. Apparently he's some sort of assistant at that big observatory.
Yes, I know that, but...
Well, they're getting a band of volunteers together to march out to the crater.
Oh, my God. Where are they now?
Across the other side of the common somewhere.
Are they still behind that ridge of pines?
Very likely.
Right.
Look, if you think you're going over there, sir, you better look lively. They ought to be starting very soon.
But I never got there. I never reached the pines. I was halfway around the edge of the heath when the deputation started out. I was still 100 yards away when Stent and his companions stepped out of the cover of the trees. I thought discretion was the better part of valor, so I lay down in a likely dip in the ground and settled myself to watch proceedings. Well, Stent and Ogilvy and a few local busybodies. I noticed a couple of journalists and the inevitable press photographer, started out for the gravel pit. Stent was wagging a white handkerchief. It all looked rather amateurish and pathetic. They walked slowly. No one in the crater appeared to be taking any notice. The humming and hammering and puffs of black smoke went on as before. The deputation steadily advanced. But suddenly, there was dead silence. Flutter, flutter, flutter went the white handkerchief. A cloud of bright green smoke in 3 distinct puffs rose out of the pit. It was so bright, the blue sky and the brown common and the black pine seemed to darken abruptly. There was a hissing sound. And then a humped, dark shape loomed halfway above the lip of the crater. And then there was a ghost of a beam of light, pale and flickering. The pines behind the deputation burst into flame. Furze bushes and bracken flared up. Everything in the path of the ray, right away into the distance, as far as Knapp Hill and Chertsey. Trees and hedges and buildings reeled over as though struck by a flash of lightning. It was as though the humped Martian in the crater had laid an invisible hot finger over the ground in the direction of the deputation. The dark earth smoked and crackled. Stent and his little wedge of followers burst into a living flame. A living flame of flesh and clothing. They staggered and fell and lay still. The fearful flash of white light, blinding, flickered over them. On the ground, I saw only their burnt, blackened, and unrecognizable bodies. It was the heat ray. I'd seen the heat ray in action for the first time. Heat ray. Heat ray. I was to hear those 2 words over and over again in the hideous days ahead.
Part 2 of The War of the Worlds, adapted by John Manship White from the novel by H.G. Wells, Paul Daneman played John Nicholson, and Martin Jarvis, his assistant Ogilvy. Sir James Stent, the Astronomer Royal, was Harold Casket, and the Lieutenant, Anthony Jackson. The sound score is by David Kane of the BBC Radiophonic Workshop, and the serial is produced by John Powell. The War of the Worlds. Paul Daneman plays John Nicholson in this 6-part radio adaptation by John Manship White of the novel by H.G. Wells. The War of the Worlds, Part 3. The Fighting Machines.
Many authorities, including Ogilvy, my own chief assistant, and Sir James Stent, the Astronomer Royal, Wouldn't believe me when I said that the 10 consecutive brilliant flashes on the surface of Mars were made by the firing of giant projectiles. But one bright morning, a few months later, one of them landed in a sandpit on Horsell Common, not far from my observatory in Surrey. We thought it was a meteorite at first, but it wasn't. It was a huge metal cylinder, and by the time we reached it, it was starting to open. Everyone fled from the crater where it had landed, but my scientific curiosity got the better of me, and I stayed at the edge to see who or what was inside. And formidable brutes they looked, too. Chinless, tentacled, oily-skinned, creeping round like massive slugs because of the greater gravitational pull of the Earth. Later that afternoon, Stent and Ogilvy were also overpowered by scientific curiosity, and before I could reason with them, they got up a deputation and marched away from the shelter of a clump of pines towards the crater in the middle of the common. Before they got halfway there, I was watching the whole thing from a hollow in the ground where I'd wisely hidden myself. The whole bunch of them were wiped out, wiped clean off the face of the Earth. The Martians in the pit had turned the heat ray on them. A deep throbbing sound, a silver pencil of light, and a narrow ribbon of bracken and grass and trees and houses stretching as far as the eye could see was scorched and bare and blackened and smoking. This was the sort of weapon I'd been afraid of. And it wasn't by any means the only one, as I was to discover. The 2 helicopters that had been hovering overhead hurriedly flew off. The Martians hadn't deigned to take any more notice of them than if they'd been 2 bluebottles buzzing round. They resumed their busy preparations in the pit. Everyone watching on the edge of the common was appalled. The first blow had been delivered so quickly, so effectively. The ring of troops and police, and there were hundreds of them all round the common, got ready. And just at that moment, high up in the cold, clear sky, we heard an odd and ominous sound. I thought it was the promised squadron of jets, but I soon realized it wasn't. We all stared upwards, and there, swooping down with terrible velocity, was another cylinder, another of the dreaded falling stars. It landed, if you can call it landing, on Byfleet golf links half a mile off. There was a colossal spurt of earth and shattered tree trunks. Another poisoned dart had punctured the green skin of our old planet, the Earth. And very soon now the poison would begin to work. Once more, I expected the gunners to loose off a salvo at the crater, but the troops simply stood about anxiously, waiting for some brass hat to make up his mind. Probably they were still hamstrung by Stent's instructions to take no action. Well, I made up my mind. I started crawling away on hands and knees towards the road, using every scrap of cover. My respect for the heat ray developed early. Halfway there, I turned round, and I got the shock of my life. A copper-coloured machine had put its snout out of the sandpit and was nosing round like an enormous armadillo. I remember thinking, well, if that's all their fighting machines are going to be like, the gunners will pick them off like coconuts. Even as a scientist in those first days of the War of the Worlds, I consistently underrated our nightmarish opponents. Anyway, when that metallic brute started scuttling round the pit, I hurried off the common and made for home.
Darling, there's no point in arguing.
Look, Dora, please do as I tell you. Take the car and get on down to Leatherhead.
How can I?
I'm going down to Black Scarrows to get a hire car. Now, try and be ready to leave by the time I get back.
I can't understand why you've suddenly decided to do all this.
It's Well, it's a matter of taking common-sense precautions.
I must say it all seems rather unnecessary.
Dora, I'm afraid I've got to insist on your going this afternoon.
Insist? Really?
Now, it's no use getting impatient, Dora. I'm only thinking of your safety.
At 3 o'clock, you were telling me there was nothing to worry about. You were going to bring Ogilvy and Sir James back here. Well?
They're dead.
Dead?
Dora, the Martians have got some sort of ray. And the top of this house is visible from the sandpit.
Ogilvy and Sir James.
Oh, come along, darling. I'll get down a suitcase for you.
Poor Sir James.
I've got a feeling this whole place is going to go sky high any moment.
Were they in pain?
It happened very quickly. Now, you go and pack, Dora, And don't go near the attic.
What?
Stay away from those upstairs windows.
But what shall I take? I can't just go and leave everything.
Oh, yes, you can. There's no two ways about it. Don't take more than you can help. I want you to get there as quickly as possible.
John, all this is nonsense. It's not like you.
Dora, listen.
I'm not leaving.
This isn't an ordinary emergency, Dora.
I'm not leaving this house this afternoon, John. I'll go tomorrow morning.
Now, look, Dora, I don't want to...
No, John, it's unreasonable. I'll pack and be ready to leave first thing in the morning.
Now will you go and pack, for God's sake?
What's happening?
Now go and put your things together. I'll drive down to Black's. I won't be more than 20 minutes. We got to Leatherhead about 9, in the pouring rain. I snatched a plate of soup and a sandwich, left Dora in our own car, and began the journey back in the car I'd hired. Dora's face was very white when we parted. Heaven only knows what impulse urged me to return to Ottershaw that night. Somehow I felt I had to know what was going on. Sounds ridiculous, but I was afraid, really afraid, that the gunners had already exterminated the Martians. I had a desperate desire to get back. So, in the driving rain, under lowering storm clouds, I took a shortcut through Ockham, Ripley and Purford. And it was at Purford that I first saw the flickering red flames on the horizon over Maybury and Woking Way. Dark, drifting clouds of crimson fire. There was a flash of lightning that lit up the tops of the pine trees, and then... how can I describe it? The object came out sharp and bright. A monstrous tripod, higher than many houses, was striding over the pine trees, smashing them, tearing them up as it came. A walking, glittering engine with steel ropes dangling from it. A vast, swaying tripod. 3 thin, towering legs with a mass of machinery on the top. A terrible hooded cowl peering this way and that. Lost control. By some miracle, I was thrown clear, battered and breathless, and I found myself floundering in a pool in the road, dazed, and drenched, and bewildered. I'd seen the first of the grey fighting machines. Wet to the skin, I crept up the hill. My God, how steep it was. And then, going down into Ottershaw, I passed wet, twisted bodies every few yards. I stumbled on the landlord of the Green Man, and Holroyd, the police sergeant, a crushed body jammed under his moped. There was a dark heap of smashed flesh and sodden cloth jammed against the railings outside my house. I stepped carefully over it and went up the path and let myself in with my latchkey. I crouched at the foot of the staircase with my back to the wall, shuddering shuddering uncontrollably.
Is anyone there? Is anyone there?
Who is it? What do you want?
For God's sake, will you let me in?
Who are you?
Look, I'm trying to hide.
Oh, just a moment. Well, what are you after?
Shelter, that's all.
Your face, I can't see, but is it bleeding?
No, pretty badly burned. Face and neck, mostly.
Don't I know your voice? You're that helicopter pilot, aren't you?
My word. It's the prof, ain't it? What a stroke of luck. Those bastards shot me down.
Look, there's some lint somewhere, and some ointment in the bathroom, I think. Hang on a minute, I'll switch the lights on.
Oh, don't do that. We're better in the dark.
Yes, can you deal with those burns in the dark?
Yeah, I'll have to.
Well, go on into the dining room there. Take it easy while I get the ointment and the bandages. Here. Another drop of that brandy.
That's better.
How are your burns now?
A bit better. I dabbed that stuff on pretty freely.
You're flying over the common, were you?
Yeah, I've been there for the last 7 or 8 hours. The copter crashed and I just lay where I was behind some trees. I've only just crawled off.
What made you come here?
It's the first house I saw. You know, I'm lucky to be alive. The copter wasn't more than 50 feet up and hit the tops of the trees as it came down.
What's been happening this afternoon? I've been at Leatherhead.
They wiped us out. Simply wiped us out. I'm probably the only survivor.
Good God.
That ray. They knocked out the tank, shot down the jets.
Oh, why didn't they use bombs on the pound?
What, in the build-up area with our own blokes so thick on the ground? You see, I was spotting for the artillery battery salvo. Well, it came into action around about 4 hours too late. They only fired a couple of shells when those machines that were rabbiting round the top of the crater began to stand up.
Stand up?
Yeah, that's right. There were 3 of them in that pit. They're some sort of devilish things on tripods.
Ah, yes, I see. That must have been a thing with a cowl that nearly crushed me to death.
So you've seen them?
Well, one of them. Well, go on. What happened after you opened fire?
Well, the gunners let go a couple of ranging shots. When these shield-shaped things staggered up in their legs and calmly proceeded to slaughter everyone in sight.
Oh, God.
Oh, I got a marvellous view of it all from the cockpit. Yeah, marvellous, if that's the word for it.
Yeah, it was that ray of theirs, I suppose.
Yeah, that's it. That heat ray.
Did you see what it looks like? Is it very cumbersome?
Cumbersome?
I mean, can the creatures carry it about?
Yeah, they certainly can. They've got one apiece.
One apiece?
It's in a sort of a complicated metal case hanging from a steel tentacle. Well, they blasted us out of existence with it. One squirt in the air and the bloody rotor blades disintegrated. Melted.
One apiece.
Yeah. The gunners never stood a chance. They tried to sight on the cows, but they couldn't elevate quickly enough. It was a shambles.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
The ammunition trucks blew up. Everything was just a mess of melting metal and blood. Oh, the stench of it all.
Yeah. Have a bit more of this brandy.
Oh, yeah.
You are.
Yeah, thanks. Well, what are we going to do now? Any suggestions?
What's it like outside? Over towards the common.
Right. They're still hammering away in that blasted pit.
Well, we better hop off before they decide to leave it. How on earth did they store all this massive machinery inside that cylinder?
Search me. God only knows what they got up the sleeve.
How the devil are we able to deal with them?
No, I don't think we can, somehow.
What's to stop them? And what's to stop them destroying the whole country? Every man, every woman, every child.
Every town, every village.
What's to stop them?
Nothing.
Yes. Well, we can't just sit here in the dark and moan before the thing's really started. It's pretty grim then over towards the Common.
Yeah. It's a valley of ashes. Everything's gutted. They're standing round the pit like sentries, rotating their cowls.
And we'll have to give the Common a wide berth.
There's nothing for miles and miles but pillars of red smoke.
And 24 hours ago... Yes, well...
You know, I was due to go on leave this evening.
I've got to get back to Leatherhead somehow. I was a fool to leave it in the first place. I should have stayed by my wife.
Yeah, but we can't go till morning.
You'll head for London, will you?
Yeah, the rest of my squadron's in Essex.
I'll get my wife to drive to Newhaven. She may be able to get on a cross-channel ferry.
Why'd you go with her?
Well, it sounds stupid, but I'm still anxious to see more of the Martians at close quarters.
Well, you're welcome to them, mate. You know what I think?
What?
I reckon in a couple of days the home counters are going to look like... well, like a slaughterhouse.
Well, in the morning we'll find a car and I'll drive you as far as Street Cobham. I'll have to make a detour. Another cylinder's fallen near Addleston.
But another?
Yeah.
Well, how many more of them do you think there'll be?
Well, as far as we know, they only launched 10.
Only 10?
Perhaps they thought 10 would be enough.
But our chaps were all standing round on that common like a lot of dummies on a parade ground.
We'll beat them somehow. We've got to fight back.
Yeah, but that ain't easy. England's overcrowded, especially in the home counties. There's no room to manoeuvre. How the hell can you use aircraft, for instance, when it's your own people down there? It's easy in Malaya or Arabia or back home even. But here in Surrey...
Yes, I see what you mean.
I reckon we better scout round for some tucker to take with us.
Well, there's plenty in the house.
What about opening another bottle? I mean, if we've got to sit here till dawn, we may as well make the best of it.
Well, why not? Come to think of it, I've got a couple of hip flasks somewhere. We'll fill them up and take them along with us.
Yeah, that's great.
So, at the first chill, desolate gleam of daylight, we found ourselves an abandoned car and set out. And at Street Cobham, the lieutenant and I parted.
Goodbye, Nicholson.
Goodbye, Lieutenant. And good luck if we don't meet again.
Yeah. Chuckers, mate. Goodbye.
I was heading for Epsom via Weybridge. I found everything in a state of chaos. No one seemed to be quite clear about what had happened on Horsell Common the previous evening. Half the population was streaming away in flight, in cars, motorbikes, bicycles, even on foot. The roads were littered with articles dropped in flight. Clocks, shoes, silver spoons, everything imaginable. Just outside Weybridge, I stopped the car to have a word with a cheery, red-faced infantry colonel. Excuse me. Can I get through to Epsom this way?
Yes, old chap. I say, you look all in. Have you come from Maybury way, where the fighting was?
Yes, I have, as a matter of fact.
Seem to have given our chaps a pretty bad mauling, eh?
Complete havoc. Everything's chaotic.
No, don't worry. We'll make them pay for it. What do these things look like?
Armored giants. 100 feet high.
Good Lord.
On tripods.
Oh.
And they've got a metal canister which shoots a very deadly flame.
A gun?
No, not exactly. A ray of heat.
Oh, sounds a bit far-fetched to me.
It's true, Colonel.
Well, I'd better do a bit of a recce.
Yeah, I'll be pushing on to Weybridge.
Oh, I say.
Yes?
We're bundling everyone out of their houses at Weybridge, but you'll find Brigadier General Marvin somewhere about. He'd probably be very glad if you gave him all your information.
Right. Best of luck, Colonel.
Same to you, old chap.
But not even Brigadier General Marvin and the gallant Colonel could save Weybridge. Weybridge was due for destruction. So was Shepperton. But the colonel was as good as his word. This time, the fighting machines weren't going to have it all their own way. I passed group after group of tanks and scout cars converging on Woking. The bells of Shepperton Church pealed merrily. I drove through the crowded streets with their deserted shops, some of them with boarded-up fronts. And after an unsuccessful attempt to locate General Marvin, I made for the bridge across the river. The sun danced on the water. The cattle browsed in flat riverside pastures. The silvery pollard willows were motionless in the cold sunshine. A peaceful scene. Then I heard them. They were calling to each other. 5 of them, advancing obliquely towards the river, visible far away over the little trees and flat meadows towards Chertsey. They glittered as they rolled on towards the waiting line of tanks that confronted them, hulls down, waiting to open the first shots in the battle for Weybridge. Casually, the remotest, the one on the extreme left, twisted its cowl and flourished a metal case in the air. It smote Chertsey with the ghostly, terrible heat ray. The fighting machines lurched towards us with frightening speed, swift and ponderous at the same time. The crowds on the bank stood stock still, petrified. Fortunately, I wasn't too frightened to think clearly.
The river! Get into the river, all of you! Into the river!
I dashed down the gravelly bank, headlong into the river. I kept my eyes on the leading master. When he got close, I was going to plunge under the water. The tanks had held their fire. Now they opened up altogether. The Martian's hood turned towards the batteries, and it swung loose its metal case, the generator of the heat ray. The machine loomed above Shepperton. A battery hidden in the outskirts of the village let fly almost simultaneously. The first shell burst 6 yards above the hood. 2 more burst in the air near the body. But the fourth burst clean in the face of the thing. The hood bulged, flashed, was whirled off in tattered fragments of glittering metal. The decapitated colossus reeled like a drunken ogre. Incapable of guidance, it staggered mechanically onwards in a dead straight line, smashed into Shepperton Church Tower like a battering ram, blundered on, and collapsed in the river. A spout of water, steam, mud, and metal shot into the air. The heat ray apparatus exploded as it hit the water. But the other 4 fighting machines had seen their companion destroyed. They swept towards us, spraying all around them furiously, indiscriminately with their heat rays. The tanks and batteries were silenced. I ran 50 yards and threw myself despairingly into a tiny side stream. Mercifully, the water was cooler than in the main river. The heat ray flared. Trees, fences, houses, sheds blazed and roared. I was in the middle of a blazing inferno. Dense black smoke mingled with a white fog from the river. Scalding white flashes flickered down the packed towpaths and licked out of existence the helpless, half-demented crowds. I lost my head. I panicked. Tears streaming down my face, scalding, screaming. Somehow I staggered through the leaping, hissing waters once again to land. And then, oh my God, I tripped and fell in full sight of the Martians on a bare spit of beach. I craned my head back in a frenzy of agonized despair, and I saw the 4 monstrous fighting machines carrying between them the debris of their shattered comrade. A vast metal foot came down a yard from my head, spattering me with sand and gravel. I expected nothing but death.
In Part 3 of The War of the Worlds, adapted by John Manship White from the novel by H.G. Wells, Paul Daneman played John Nicholson, Isabel Renie, his wife Dora, and Anthony Jackson, the lieutenant. The sound score is by David Kane of the BBC Radiophonic Workshop, and the serial is produced by John Powell. The War of the Worlds. Paul Daneman plays John Nicholson in this 6-part radio adaptation by John Manship White of the novel by H.G. Wells. The War of the Worlds, Part 4. The Black Smoke.
I've already recounted many episodes of the War of the Worlds in which I was lucky or unlucky enough to take part. I've told how, with my chief assistant Ogilvy, I watched the flashes on Mars from my observatory. How a few months later, a falling star landed near my home in Surrey. How Ogilvy and Stent, the astronomer royal, became too inquisitive and paid a terrible penalty. I've told you, too, what I saw of the destruction of Weybridge by the heat ray, and how the artillery and the tank corps landed a shell fair and square on the cowl of the leading fighting machine. But 4 other marauding fighting machines descended immediately on Weybridge, Shepperton and Chertsey, methodically wiping out the 12-pounders with the ghostly and devastating heat ray. And as I fled from them along the bank of the river, I tripped and fell right in their path as they carried off the shattered wreckage of their companion, stumbled and sprawled in front of them, expecting to be crushed out of existence in a hideous instant. But the gigantic steel foot missed my skull by inches, and the metal monsters passed over me and away. And I waded downstream out of that blazing holocaust, numb and shuddering and dazed. I went perhaps half a mile without seeing a sign of a human being. And then, faintly, from somewhere out of sight, I heard a voice chanting monotonously.
The great and terrible day of the Lord, when men shall call upon the mountains and the rocks to fall upon them and hide them.
And as I turned a bend in the river, I saw him, sitting on the bank, his face white and streaked with dirt, and his cassock in shreds.
You know where I could get any water?
Water?
Yes, I'm parched. The river's all turned out. It's all mud and froth and blood.
Friend, what does it mean? What do these things mean? Why have they been permitted to come to pass?
Water, could you tell me where I could find...
What terrible sin have we committed? I was in the middle of morning service.
Look, if you can't tell me where there's any water, what about telling me how far we are from Sunbury?
Sunbury?
Yes, Sunbury, S-U-N-B-U-R-Y, Sunbury.
There were nearly 100 people in the congregation.
Oh, buck up, man, there's still hope.
They are pitiless. They are invulnerable.
They're not, you know. The tanks smashed one of their machines up an hour ago.
Huh?
And I expect help's already being organised. Look, the best thing we can do is head for Kingston or Richmond, say. They won't be able to rove round just when they feel like it, once everyone's alert and properly mobilized.
Yes.
The parson and I were walking down the main road, on the crest of St. George's Hill, with a magnificent view spread out below us, when a band of fighting machines came into view in the valley. Look, down there, see? Fighting machines. 2 or 3. No, there are 4 of them, look. 4? Yes, and look up there. Jets. There must be a dozen of them. Now, they'll have cannon and napalm. Yes. Look, they caught it, hot and strong, walked slap into it. They're not getting it all their own way for a change. Look, they hit one. One of the fighting machines. Yes. See it? They've got him. He's toppling. Direct hit, you devil, right on your ugly metal face. Blown you to blazes.
The heat ray. They're using the heat ray.
Oh, my God.
They're shooting them down. One after the other. The rest of them fled.
If we can't use aircraft, what can we use? An atom bomb? Hey, look! Look over there!
Yes?
See? There are 4 more of the things.
The Valley of the Shadow.
They seem to be having some sort of briefing. 7 of them out there. I wonder what they're up to. They've stopped hooting, too. Something's up. Look, you see? The 4 new ones. They're carrying something. Can you see what it is?
Well, some new and even more terrible scourge for our sinful backs. The angel with the flaming sword.
It's sort of a black tube they've got. Yes, and look, the 4 new ones are handing one each to the others, you see? That's strange. I haven't seen those before.
An engine of destruction.
They're deploying. Look at them. I'm damned if they aren't taking up regular positions. Looks like a definite line of concentration. Perhaps it's London they're after. Good God, look at that, another 4. On the left there, see? Crossing the river below Sunbury.
Indeed, a fearful sight.
Well, the tanks will be waiting for them. Must be thousands of tanks wherever there's a scrap of cover. They'll have guns behind every house.
They're waiting, standing still and waiting.
Yeah. 11 of them. In a great glittering arc. They must have a front at least 12 miles long by now. Look, there's Weybridge this end. And over there, that's Send, isn't it, that village?
Yes.
I don't much like the look of it. Why don't they advance? What are they waiting for? Go on. Go on, damn you, move! Go on, march! They're waiting for you!
They're waving something high in the air.
It says black tubes.
What have they done?
They've fired something. It looks like a canister of steel, as far as I can make out. It's a funny thing. The explosion came when the canisters were fired. Why wasn't there a bang when they hit the ground?
Moving forward. The wine press of the Lord.
Where the devil are the guns? Why haven't they come into action? The Martians must be in range by now.
A paean of victory. The hosts of the evil one have prevailed.
What's happened?
Look yonder.
Well, what is it?
Black smoke.
Great mushrooms of it. Look at it. It's all over the woods and the hillsides.
A deadly vapour, crawling like a serpent over the earth.
And so it was. A creeping gas, floating reluctantly before the wind, seeping into ditches and watercourses and collecting there, and finally sinking into the earth in the form of an insoluble dust. The black smoke, choking, stifling, killing quickly. I dragged the parson into a car and we pushed on, making for Leatherhead, travelling as far as we could judge away from the Martians and the black smoke.
The day of judgment is at hand.
We drove down empty roads, hugging the curb. Where had everyone gone? London, to the north, the west. Anywhere to get out of it. To get away from the Martians. It gave me the feeling that the parson and I were the last men left on Earth. I was sick and tired of the parson and his eternal moaning. But the poor devil was scared out of his wits, so, like a fool, I let him come with me. We had to stop now and again and hide from scouting Martians, but we got to Sunbury across blackened roads littered with huddled bodies, coated with black dust. It was like Pompeii. We went through Hampton Court, with the cindery bodies of deer beneath the chestnuts, and reached Twickenham, which was untouched by the heat ray or the black smoke, and with bewildered people standing about in the streets. We crossed Richmond Bridge. Petersham and Ham were ablaze. Just outside Kew, the hull of a fighting machine suddenly loomed over us above a house. If the Martian inside had looked down, we'd have been sunk. But he was busy chasing a flock of little black figures running across the fields near a power station. The Martian picked them up with his long, thin, delicate steel arms and threw them into the great metallic carrier projecting behind him.
Woe, woe, woe to you, Weybridge and Shepperton, Sunbury and Kew, stricken of the Lord.
Look, I'm going to stop the car so we can rest for a while. No point in exhausting ourselves. We're getting careless. We're damn nearly nabbed just then.
Golgotha, the place of a scout.
This'll do. One of these houses. What about that one over there, eh? Looks fairly promising. I'll drive right up to it, so we won't be so easily spotted. We'll break in and see what we can lay our hands on in the way of food. That's right. In you go. Easy. Oh, thanks, Phil. Mind that glass?
Yes, yes.
Right, you all right?
Yes.
Now, where are we? Oh, kitchen. That's good. Let's have a look. Ah, fine, the pantry. Well stocked up, too. Here we are. 2 loaves. An uncooked steak, by Jove. Ah, and half a good-looking ham as well. We'll have a nice thick slice of that. Here we are, light ale. That's 24, about a couple of dozen here. Gin, scotch, vodka. Wine, too. We'll drink a couple of bottles apiece and be damned to the Martians.
What's that sound?
Well, that's not very interesting. There's 8 or 9 packets of biscuits. They're useful. What's this? Soup? And we've got 4 tins
Where are you?
That's Leia. Don't move. The floor's covered with smashed crockery from the dresser.
That green glare.
It can't move without making a noise. And they're outside.
They?
The Martians, you fool. That was the 5th rocket.
Oh, God.
Looks as if we're buried under the ruins.
Oh, God, have mercy on us.
Oh, God. I'll just have to lie low and stick it out.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, pity a miserable sinner. Pardon my offences.
We scarcely moved till dawn came. The light filtered in, not through the window, which remained black, but through a triangular crack between a broken beam and a heap of bricks. The window had been burst in by garden mould, which flowed over the tables and chairs and was sprayed all round us. Outside, the soil was banked high against the house. As dawn grew clearer, we saw through the crack the tripod legs of a fighting machine standing sentinel over the crater. The Martians had by now clambered out of the cylinder and were busy in the pit. I realized that they intended to follow the usual Martian practice of reinforcing the crater as a base of operations. We lay there for hours, among the shattered crockery and the dust from the fallen plaster. My head was splitting. I was shivering. Intermittently, I dozed off. But in what must have been the late afternoon, I crawled painfully into the kitchen, and the curate gave up his eternal lamentations for a while and crawled after me. Just as I thought. Most of the pantry roof's fallen in. Oh, look at that. Practically all that food and drink's underneath this damn rubble. Precious little left.
Where is it? What's left? Give it to me.
No.
No.
We may be cooped up here for days. I'm going to ration it out.
No, but where's my share?
We'll leave the food where it is. And we'll eat it at regular intervals.
Friend, I'm not...
We've got to discipline ourselves. Aha! The 3 bottles of Burgundy still in there.
Where's my share?
Get your hands away.
At least let me have
my
my
share.
No, please.
We'll eat in an hour, not the 4.
The wine. I want some of the wine.
You don't keep quiet. You won't get any at all.
It's mine. I want it. I'm
Can't you stop behaving like a child?
As it is yours, I want something to eat. I know you're going to keep my share. You've no right to. I won't let you. Let me have it.
If you put your hands on any of that food and drink before I tell you, you'll be for it.
How can you hurt me when the Lord himself has lifted up his hand against me?
I'll hurt you all right if you don't show some guts and common sense. We may be stuck here for a fortnight for all we know. We'll eat in the morning and we'll eat just before it gets dark. And in between, you lie still and behave yourself. Keep your stupid mouth shut.
We're going to die. I know we're going to die.
And we'll put up the biggest fight we can first.
I will lift up my eyes unto the Lord.
I am not joking. You're getting on my nerves. Now, you go on canting like this and I'll throttle you. You want to get us both caught?
Friend, you are strong in spirit, but I am weak.
I'm scared to death. Anybody would be. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Get a grip on yourself, man. No sense in giving in. Here. Here's a bottle of scotch. See if that'll give you some courage. Now you can drink down to the bottom of the neck and no more. You can have another drink when we eat later on.
How do I open it?
Oh, God, don't be so helpless. Give it to me. Here. There you are.
The judgment of the Lord. The last days. When there shall be darkness over the face of the earth. Their days...
I left him mumbling to himself, clutching his bottle and drinking greedily. I could write that bottle of whiskey off. I crawled towards the triangular crack in the kitchen wall. I took the hatchet from beside the kitchen stove with me, though heaven knows what use a hatchet would have been against a fighting machine. I was trembling violently, chiefly because I was so angry with that imbecile. He wouldn't stop pestering me. I hadn't had my eye to the crack 10 minutes before he lay down beside me in the earth on the floor and started digging me in the back.
What's there? What are you looking at?
Nothing to get excited about. Now, keep calm.
No, but what is it? What can you see?
The cylinder. It's about 30 feet down, as far as I can judge. Oh, it splashed up the earth around the hole like mud being hit with a hammer. It heaped all over the houses.
I'll be in great danger.
Seems as though we're in a sort of buried box. There's just this slit, and there's tons of earth on top of us. The upper floors must have gone completely. We're hanging over the verge of a crater.
The edge of the abyss.
Pit's being enlarged by a sort of metallic spider, sending up great clouds of green smoke. The whole crater's lit up with a green glare.
Yes.
But stop nudging me, can't you?
Yes, but are the Martians coming towards us?
There are 3 of them on the bank over there. Oh, they look weird with the sunset behind them. Just lying about, panting and waving their feelers. They look pretty feeble. You'd never associate them somehow with those efficient machines.
What are they doing? What are they doing?
Oh, for God's sake, lie still and stop making a ruddy nuisance of yourself.
Look, let me look. It's my turn now. I want to look.
What?
Look, it's not fair. You're keeping it all to yourself. I've got a right to look at them too.
All right. Come on then, be careful not to make a noise changing place.
I've drunk the whiskey. Most of it, anyway.
I thought you would. Huh? Well, you'll just have to go thirsty for a couple of days.
I won't.
Oh, yes, you will. You think you're going to guzzle the rest of the stuff as well?
Friend, I fear you're a very harsh, uncharitable man.
Friend, you're a very flabby, self-centered pain in the neck.
I never listen to vulgar abuse. These Martians, they look so inferior to us men. God's handiwork. Mere boot priests.
Speaking as a mere scientist, then, I must say I can't see any signs of a marked inferiority compared with us. We'll be lucky if they don't annihilate us.
This scene before my eyes, it's like something from the Revelation. And when the fourth seal was opened, I beheld a pale horse. All right. And he that sat upon him, his name was Death, and Hades followed with him.
Keep your voice down with you.
And there was given unto them authority over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with famine, and with death, and by the wild beasts of the field. Lord, what in heaven's name is this?
What's the matter? What's going on?
Men. One being dragged into the pit.
Oh! Keep still, can't you? Here, get out of the way. Now, carefully now. Come on. Move over. And stop that. And for God's sake, get back in the pantry and keep quiet. And don't go near the food, or I'll make you wish you'd never been born. At first, I couldn't make out what had frightened him. Twilight had fallen and the stars were little and faint, and the pit was lit by the lurid green fire from whatever it was that they were doing. Everything was a flickering green mixed with black shadows. Then I heard them. The prisoners. They were in the steel carrier, like a gigantic fisherman's basket on the back of one of the Sentinel fighting machines. I could just catch their voices far away in the air. At first, I wasn't sure whether the machine actually contained a Martian. But as the green flames swirled and cleared, I glimpsed the oily gleam of his skin and the brightness of his yellow eyes. Then, a long tentacle whipped over the shoulder of the machine into the cage, hunched on its back. It rummaged about for a minute. Then something was lifted high against the sky, a black shape against the starlight. I saw the loose, flabby, slavering mouth of the Martian mumbling and working. Then the black shape was brought downwards, and I saw by the green brightness that it was a man. He vanished behind the mound.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Where are you?
I want a drink.
Where have you hidden yourself?
I want a drink. I want another drink.
Burgundy again, are you?
It's mine.
Come on, give me that bottle.
It's mine.
Come on,
no, it's mine.
My God,
no,
give me that
keep away
bottle.
from me. You keep away from me. There we have. It is just. Oh, God. It is just.
Shut up.
On me and mine be the punishment made.
Shut up, shut up.
We have sinned. We have fallen short.
Shut up, you damn fool.
Ah, there was poverty.
Do you want to kill us?
Oppressors of the poor and
God's
needy.
sake, I'll make you shut
I
up.
must bear my witness. Woe, woe to the
Will you shut up for the last time?
The word of the Lord is upon me.
last time,
I
will you
must
shut
bear
up?
my witness. I go.
Come away from me, you
been
filthy
too long
fool.
delay.
Oh, God. Oh, God, I've killed him. What's that? A gripping Martian limb curled through the triangular slit. Behind it, I saw a sort of glass plate with a dark yellow eye peering through. I bolted into the scullery and pressed myself against the far wall. Through the dim doorway, I saw the steel tentacle twisting and turning about. A Martian inside one of the metal spiders had heard the parson shouting. The tentacle hooked itself into the dead body and dragged it roughly through the slit. I held my breath in fear. I stood rigid. Then the whip-like tentacle snaked back again through the slit and began fumbling about in the kitchen. It waved towards me, tapping the walls, the floor, the ceiling. A black worm switching its blind head to and fro. It swayed across the room, poked its sightless way through the scullery door, and groped and quivered in the air in front of my face, inches away. Nearer, 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 nearer. I was paralyzed with terror, turned into a block of stone. Then the thing plunged downwards, flickered close to my legs, brushed the littered floor, and touched the toe of my shoe.
Part 4 of The War of the Worlds, adapted by John Manchip White from the novel by H.G. Wells, Paul Daneman played John Nicholson, and Peter Sallis, the parson. The sound score is by David Kane of the BBC Radiophonic Workshop, and the serial is produced by John Powell. The War of the Worlds. Paul Daneman plays John Nicholson in this 6-part radio adaptation by John Manchip White of the novel by H.G. Wells. The War of the Worlds, Part 5. The Red Weed.
On previous occasions, I have told you how I was fated to follow closely the main incidents of the War of the Worlds, and how I was the first human being to set eyes on the Martians as they crept from their vast space cylinders, and was destined to follow their activities throughout the ensuing conflict. You will remember the parson with whom I was trapped in a deserted house in Sheen when the 5th falling star nearly landed on top of us, and how he went out of his mind, and how, in my terror that his ravings would give us away to the Martians, I killed him. And as I stared down at his crumpled body, I heard a sound that terrified me. A Martian inside one of the spidery handling machines which was working on the crater outside the house had heard the parson's frenzied shouting. A thin steel tentacle was thrust into our earth-enclosed box of a kitchen. The parson's body was dragged out, and then the tentacle came back again. I scrambled into the scullery and pressed myself against the far wall, and the thing found the scullery door and came through after me. The quivering feelers swayed like a black cobra in the air in front of my face. I waited in agony for it to strike. It lunged downward, swept the crockery-littered floor at my feet, touched my shoe, and slowly withdrew. I was safe. The creature in the handling machine was satisfied that the parson had been alone. Otherwise, I should have been swung 100 feet into the air with an oily brown tentacle round my waist, and then pulled down into the green glare of the crater to be sucked dry. Sucked into a pulp of skin and bone by two wedge-like lips on a leathery, chinless face, two slobbering lips beneath a fleshy beak of a nose with no nostrils in it. I stayed in that scullery for 4 days and 4 nights, and I kept very, very still. But on the 5th day, I crept into the kitchen, and I found that the half-light had turned into a crimson obscurity. Across the crack in the wall through which I'd watched the Martians, a strange red weed was growing. I hesitated, and then, very warily, I pulled the fronds aside. And there, below me, was the crater. Empty. I could hardly believe my eyes. I wept with relief. There was nothing in the pit except a cloud of birds pecking at the remains of the men and women off which the Martians had made their meals. I clambered painfully into the open. How wonderful the air was. And then I recall tottering blindly along endless roads, bleary-eyed, exhausted with hunger. And what a strange world it was. All round me and often above me gently rippled the fantastic crimson fronds of the red weed. There was no food except what I found in wayside gardens. And believe it or not, I tramped all the way from Sheen to Putney Hill before I saw a single living soul.
Halt! Halt there!
His clothes were as filthy as my own. His greasy black hair fell over his eyes, and his features were dirty and dark and sunken. Across the lower part of his face was a deep red gash. He brandished an automatic rifle.
You come any closer, and I'll blow you to pieces.
Whereabouts am I?
You're on Putney Hill. Now, where have you come from?
Mortlake Way. I'm all in.
Yeah, well, all right, no food for you here. So you can clear out. Go on back to Mortlake. This is my territory.
Yours?
Yeah. You're down to the river, over to Clapham, and up to the edge of the heath. You're off your beat, mate.
I see.
Which way are you heading?
I don't know.
Well, it's no good scrounging round here.
I'm a bit confused.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't I know you?
What?
Well, I'll be blowed. Ain't it the prof from Ottershaw?
Ottershaw?
Hell, can't you remember? I was in your house that night. The night after the massacre.
It's the pilot. The pilot.
Yeah, that's right.
You're the helicopter pilot.
That's it.
I wouldn't have recognized you.
No. No, you've changed yourself.
Me? Oh, yeah, my clothes, you mean?
No, your hair's turned white.
My hair?
Hell, you of all people. What a beaut bit of luck. You saved my life, you know. Oh,
what?
Yeah. If you hadn't let me have that lint and bandages, those burns of mine would have festered for sure.
Oh.
Welcome to my little kingdom. Here, step across the front of you. Ta-da! You're the guest of the state, mate. Oh, hell, I'm sorry. I've been wanking this thing on your nose. I didn't know it was you.
I believe you'd have used it, too.
Yeah, would I ever, mate? It's every man for himself now. Hey, we mustn't hang about in the crown of the hill like this.
What's that?
What? Shadow. Oh, it's only a rook.
Things are in a fine mess when a bird makes you jump out of your skin.
Yeah. Well, we'll call under those bushes there. You can take it easy for a while and we'll compare notes.
Right.
Oh, yeah? It's quite a snug little posse, ain't it?
Yeah.
They'll never spot us in here.
Suppose you haven't got anything to eat on you, have you?
Have I? Oh, hell, you look half-starved. Yeah. There you are. Ham rolls and a few sausages.
Oh,
now, I've got them out of the lounge bar of that pub down the road.
Oh, thank you.
A bit stale, but they ought to be all right. A lot of the food's going mouldy now. Though I've only got to find a supermarket and break into the deep freeze.
Thank you very much.
Well, one good turn deserves another. Those burns, they'd have been septic by now.
That's a nasty welt on the jaw you've got there still. Is it painful?
Ah, she'll be all right, mate.
Which way are the things moving, do you know?
Well, they seem to be bogged down in London. I don't know why. Perhaps they got a rendezvous there, or they're waiting for reinforcements.
Any more rockets? We saw 10 of them launched, remember?
Yeah, well, I should reckon they've all arrived by now. There's a big camp of them out at Hampstead. The sky over there's all lit up at night. And they reckon the government's gone to Edinburgh or somewhere. The rest of the people are just scattered.
What puzzles me more than anything is this red weed. Funny-looking stuff.
Yeah, it's spread everywhere. Do you think they brought it from Mars?
Yeah, probably. Probably by accident. The pollen might have drifted into the cylinders, before they were launched. Anyway, it's all round us. That's what I find so odd. It's like living in a red jungle.
Ah, you'll get used to it. It's only knee-deep in most places. And it's easy enough to hack your way through.
All the way from Mortlake, I was walking through avenues of scarlet trees. Like a forest of blood.
And the seeds have gotten to the Thames, too. The whole river's choked up with colossal fronds, a sort of spongy mass.
I tried to gnaw a few stems of it as I came along.
That's rotten stuff, no good at all. Watery.
Yes, it's got a sort of sickly, metallic taste.
You want to see it sprouting up Tower Bridge or curling round Nelson's Column?
Good God, has it got as far as that?
Oh, the whole of London's under a kind of scarlet blanket. There are tendrils crawling down the Haymarket across Leicester Square, all over the shop.
Yeah. You know what I think it is?
What?
I think it's that plant that grows on the canals on Mars. That's why we can see the canals so distinctly in the telescopes. It's why Mars is called the Red Planet.
It's pretty gruesome at night. Phosphorescent. Then sort of glows till it looks almost purple. There's miles and miles and miles of glowing purple.
Oh, certainly alter the landscape.
I don't feel as though you're on Earth anymore, somehow.
We're not. We're on Mars. We're on a different planet.
It certainly makes things look pretty lurid.
Weird. Unearthly.
Well, makes a change, doesn't it? We'll get used to it, I suppose.
We'll have to. It's not only the landscape those things have altered.
What do you mean?
I feel they've done something far more serious. Can't you feel it?
I can't say I do. What are you driving at?
I mean, we're no longer the masters.
How do you mean?
We aren't the lords of creation anymore. The Martians are. We're just hunted foxes, that's all. Vermin. One more animal among the animals.
Well, there's no need to get down on the mouth about it. I mean, if we give way, we're going to be goners, mate. Look, I'll tell you what. We'll make a foray and collect whatever grub we can lay our hands on. Then we'll sneak into the West End, find a good big hotel and spend a couple of quiet days there until you get your second wind, eh? We need all the guts we can muster if we're going to survive.
That's true enough.
Well, then, you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got a beaut place in mind.
Is London completely empty, then?
Yeah, completely and utterly. You're the first man I've seen for 3 days.
Why don't we go north, then, and find our own people?
I've got a better idea.
What's that?
Well, I'll keep that till later when you've had a decent meal and some sleep. I mean, we've got all the time in the world.
All
the time in the world.
Yeah, well, all the time in London, anyway. Right. You all set? One thing about this red weed, gives you plenty of cover.
Empty. The whole of London. Empty. Well, it's not hard to understand how it happened. I mean, can't you hear those government spokesmen addressing the crowded benches in the Commons? Can't you just hear them? The Royal Society announced this afternoon that the persons from Mars who landed in Surrey at noon today are to be protected from any possible molestation.
And taken to Regent's Park.
Under police escort.
Where members of the public will be permitted to view them upon payment of a special fee of 15 shillings.
The proceeds to be devoted to the improvement of certain bird sanctuaries.
We learn from reliable sources that the Astronomer Royal...
Mr. James Stent
has formed a deputation to approach the ridiculous creatures.
Still cowering in their sand pit.
Sir James is, of course, well known for his masterly spectrographic analyses of our neighbour planets.
We deeply regret to announce the death of Sir James Stent, Astronomer Royal.
Widely known for his spectrographic analysis.
The Martians were apparently foolhardy enough to bring with them...
From their own somewhat bizarre planet...
some sort of puny, heat wave.
And the government has accordingly requested the War Office to send a detachment of tanks and some aircraft to the area.
A measure that will doubtless bring the tiresome creatures to their senses.
We are informed that the Martians have been rash enough to attack the forces sent to deal with the disturbance.
Unprovoked aggression.
No responsibility of the government.
Tireless as ever.
Energetic.
Self-sacrificing.
Undaunted.
And removing temporarily to Edinburgh.
Please help to keep main lines clear.
Especially to Edinburgh.
Martians moving freely, but only within a restricted area.
An absurd three-legged machine. New Martian weapon brought to bear.
Nonsensical black smoke.
Government considers fresh approach to United Nations.
Conventions of war.
No cause for panic.
Government announces master plan for administering country.
From Glasgow.
Situation under control.
Marching in London.
Field Marshal Lord Glencannon takes over command.
Lord Glencannon's old illness
Troops
recurs.
falling back in good order.
Tripods at Wimbledon.
No need for apprehension.
Substantial reserve of tanks.
Paratroops.
Martians at Edgware.
Government pledges swift action.
From the Orkney Islands.
Field Marshal the Earl of Glamorgan.
Ill health.
Frightful losses.
Coolness and determination.
20 divisions.
Counterattack.
Interim budget.
100 divisions.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Is the right honourable gentleman aware?
Tampering with the liberties of the individual.
During the last election.
A precious stone set in a silver sea.
Pretty rich, eh?
So there you are. At this moment, our members of Parliament are probably holding forth in an igloo. It's a pretty sad thing to laugh at, but it's the first laugh I've had for days.
Yeah. Well, all the Londoners have fled north.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
Me neither.
It's all rather pathetic, really, isn't it? Funny how that light filters through this weed. You can see the scarlet veins in the leaves.
If we'd been fighting an ordinary war, I mean, unless it were H-bombs, that is, everyone would have stayed put and fought to the last man. But Martians, hell, I ask you, there was nothing else for it. They just had to cut and run.
Good God, look! Look, up there, between those fronds.
Oh, yeah. I saw 3 or 4 of those yesterday.
Yeah, but it's a...
Look, you better wait in this patch of shadow till it's passed over.
It's a plane. My God, what a plane.
Yeah, the first one I saw gave me a hell of a shock, too. That single wing swept back.
Sort of moon-shaped. Practically transparent, except for that black dot in it.
If I could only capture a gadget like that. Oh, hell, we'd give them a taste of their own medicine.
It's so simple. What is it? Swing wing or something?
Or whatever it is, they brought it with them in the rockets. Well, come on. We better get as far as we can before dark while we can still see to hack our way through this red stuff.
Oh, that's better. Oh, these mattresses are good and soft, aren't they?
Yeah, a bit of the rain and electricity.
Do you think it's safe here? The hooting from those fighting machines is pretty continuous.
No, we're not safe. But we might as well die comfortable in bed. So undignified being snuffed out in the cellar, especially for a flyer.
Yeah, but what about the fighting machines?
Just sentries, I expect. Wandering round in search of a human sacrifice or two. Even Martians have to have a good square meal now and again.
Yeah. Well, there's one waiting for them right here.
Ah, they'll never find us. Anyway, they came in the streets.
You know, I'm pretty sure of one thing.
What's that?
In ordinary circumstances, Dora and I would never be able to afford to stay in a penthouse in Park Lane.
They always did you proud here.
Huh?
Well, I used to come here now and again when I was on leave.
Did you?
Yeah, the dear dead days beyond recall, eh? Hey, you better relax and enjoy yourself, mate.
Yes, yeah, I need to. After those last few days.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I keep thinking about that parson. I can't get him out of my mind.
Come
what I did.
on. If I'd have been in your shoes, I'd have done him in double quick, I can tell you. Can't imagine why you put up with him for so long.
I wish to God I knew where Dora was.
Oh, for God's sake, stop worrying. You're in the best hotel in Mayfair for as long as you like, and it's all for free. What more do you want? One at the bar, use of the kitchens, anything you like.
You sure it's safe for us to use that cattle?
Yeah, of course it is. Thank heaven the management still keep a stock of those things in case of power cuts. Most of those Martian things are keeping their little rendezvous at Hampstead. And they never spot it with all that phosphorescence out there.
It's uncanny, isn't it, that glow? I can't get used to it. And the way that weed festoons the doors and windows. Like creeper. Yeah. I wonder what they're up to over at Hampstead.
Oh, you feel like a nightcap? I brought a bottle up from the bar.
No, thanks. Keep thinking about Dora.
Ah, there's no
I
glass.
she was...
Ah, well.
If anything's
I'll
happened...
take it out the bottle.
I just hope it was quick, that's all.
No noisy blighters. You know, Nicholson, after that gory business on Horsell Common when they first shot me down and gave me a dose of the heat ray, well, I did a spot of hard thinking. Everybody squealing and hollering, what's the use of that? I've never had much time for squealers myself. No, we may as well face up to it. There's no good beating about the bush. First, they'll smash us up. Ships, machines, cities, railways, everything. They'll all go on the scrap heap. And then what?
What?
Well, I said about choosing the ripest human specimens and storing them in compounds or cages.
I suppose so. It's a nasty idea.
It's inevitable. Oh, we've been stupid, Nicholson. Instead of annoying them with dynamite, we should have pretended to keep quiet. As it is, they'll destroy everything we might have used to fight them with. We're licked. The game's up.
Well, I suppose it had to come sometime.
Cities, nations, civilization. It's all over. Now, what we've got to do now, Nicholson, is to fit ourselves for the new state of affairs. Instead of letting off our little pop guns at them, we've got to start using our brains.
Well, if civilization's as good as done for, why go on living? What have we got to look forward to?
Well, of course, if you're viewing it like that, there won't be any nice little concerts to sit through for the next million years or so. There won't be any charming little art galleries to trot round. If it's amusement you're after, you may as well stretch out where you are and give up the ghost. And if you're keen on drawing room manners and not eating your peas with a knife, well, the sort of thing I got in mind just ain't up your street, mate.
And what have you got in mind?
Well, I'm going on living. I'm going on living for the sake of the race. I'm not going to be collared and tamed and fattened and bred like an ox and then sucked dry. I'm going on under their great metal feet. Yeah, before we got a chance against them, we've got to learn to play the game their way. And to do that, we've got to stay alive and independent.
Go on.
Well, we've got to turn into outlaws. The wild beasts.
Who's we?
Well, anyone who's cut out for it. Anyone with some guts and go in them. Are we done with your little people with no spirit? Scared of the boss, scared of the neighbours, scared of the wife? Miserable rabbits. Martians will be a godsend to them.
I can't imagine the Martians being a godsend to anyone, frankly.
Can't you? In nice roomy cages, fattening food, careful breathing, no worries. You have to roaming round up north for a bit with empty stomachs, they'll come trooping back to give themselves up. You watch. And before long, they'll be wondering what people did before there were Martians to take care of them.
You're a man of spirit, Lieutenant. Why didn't I join the army instead of taking up astronomy?
Yeah, the Martians will make pets of some of them. Train them to do tricks. Perhaps get sentimental over a pet boy who grew up and had to be put to sleep. And some, of course, they'll train to hunt us.
No, that's impossible, you know. No human being would ever undertake such a job.
Ah, yes, they would. And cheerfully, too. Prating solemnly about collaborating and maintaining law and order and tracking down criminals and so on.
And what would we be doing all this time?
Inventing a life where men can live freely and breed properly and learn to hit back. We've got to become hard and lean and tough.
That's all very well, but what if we go savage? Under those conditions, you know, it wouldn't be hard for us to degenerate.
Degenerate? That's the others who degenerate.
Not necessarily. We could do it too. We could slowly turn into a horde of vicious rats.
No, we would not.
And where would we hang out? I mean, there's nowhere to hide.
I guess there is.
Where?
We're going to Earth, boy. We're going underground. Literally.
How?
The sewers. There are hundreds and hundreds of miles of them. An underground city.
No, it's completely uninhabitable. I mean, the muck, the stench.
Ah, you're mixing them up with the drains. The main sewers are big, airy tunnels, Nicholson. Roomy enough for anyone. A few days' rain and an empty city will soon leave them clean and slick. And as well as them, there are cellars and passages and subways and railway tunnels.
And what happens next after we've settled in our new quarters?
Well, then we start forming a corps of able-bodied, intelligent men and women. Well, not just any old pommy rubbish, people with brains and character. We can't afford weaklings. Anyone who doesn't come up to the mark will be tossed out to the Martians.
You're certainly a pretty ruthless fellow. Still, your ideas are sound enough. It's not the individual who counts from now on, it's the species. Yes, and it isn't just the species which matters. It's saving our knowledge and adding to it. Listen, I've got an idea.
What?
We'll break into the British Museum and we'll save the important books. Then we'll make secure places, deep down, and make a series of libraries and workshops. Yeah, and I've got another idea, too.
Huh?
We'll let them think we don't mean any harm. They won't hunt us down. If they've got what they want and we don't give them any trouble, they just think we're useless vermin.
Yeah, and it mightn't be so long before we've learned enough to challenge them either. We'll watch them all the time. Yeah, and some fine day we'll pinch a couple of their fighting machines and fairly set about them. Can't you see it? Oh, my God! Quick, the candle! Get under the bed, it's better than nothing!
Oh, God, we're fools. Stupid fools. To think we can hope to stand out against anything like that.
We will, I tell you, we will.
They're much, much cleverer than we are.
That stupid, great, blundering masses of machinery.
God, they're very near.
Yeah. Sounds like Oxford Street.
What are they after?
They're beating in this part of London.
Beating?
They're beating for food.
In Part 5 of The War of the Worlds, adapted by John Manship White from the novel by H.G. Wells, Paul Daneman played John Nicholson, and Anthony Jackson, the lieutenant. The sound score is by David Kane of the BBC Radiophonic Workshop, and the serial is produced by John Powell. The War of the Worlds. Paul Daneman plays John Nicholson in this 6-part radio adaptation by John Manship White of the novel by H.G. Wells. The War of the Worlds, Part 6. The Bacillus.
I am now nearing the end of my account of the experiences through which I passed during the War of the Worlds. Experiences which began with the appearance of brilliant flashes on the surface of Mars, which heralded the arrival of the Martians in their vast space cylinders, and culminated in the desertion of London and the destruction of much of the land. During my wanderings, I had met up with an army helicopter pilot, and together we made for London and decided on a plan for organizing an underground existence in the tunnels and sewers below the city. And so one clear sunny morning, the lieutenant and I escaped from our hiding place in the West End and went below ground into the sewers.
Now, what did I tell you? London empty and a good shower of rain and the main sewers are sweeter than the streets up above.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. This going-to-earth idea's got possibilities.
Yeah, has it ever, mate? We'll be safe enough down here. The Martians can do what they like up top, but they can't follow us down manholes.
We'd better get a map of the tube train layout and see where we could drive communicating tunnels.
Yeah, that'll make our territory practically limitless. We'll use some tube stations as storage dumps and fix up the rest for living in.
Good idea. I say, it's a good job neither of us suffer from claustrophobia.
We'll get used to it soon enough.
We're going to look like walking ghosts after a few months of this.
Oh, well, I won't mind that, so long as our eyes don't give out. I'll have to go easy with the candles. Do you think we might go blind eventually, like moles?
I don't know.
Well, if we kept up in the darkness for years on end, the light's going to hurt like hell whenever we come out into the daylight.
Then we'll have to work by night. There's one thing, though, I'm much more worried about.
What?
Our air supply. Suppose the Martians block it up or poison it in some way.
Yeah, well, we'll have to take a chance on that. Anyway, we'll soon have a small army to deal with things like that.
How do you intend to organize your recruits? On military lines?
Well, that's the only way that'll work.
I suppose it is, yeah.
We'll form sections and platoons to begin with. Small, specialised, manoeuvrable units, stationed underground at tactical points. We'll be able to make sorties at any spot we choose.
There's a danger, you know. The Martians will try to kill us off by squirting that black smoke down the manholes, or using the heat ray.
What do you think I'm appointing you chief of the scientific division for?
Oh? I'm highly honoured, Generalissimo.
Yeah, well, we'll discuss the technical details later. But just at the moment, I think we ought to go up top again, take a deco around and start collecting some stores.
You know, we're on the point of indulging the appetite that's nearly been fatal to us 100 times in the past few days.
What do you mean?
Curiosity. However impregnable we make ourselves down here, we're always likely to go and do something silly. Well, look at us. Same as the Bank of England, hundreds of feet underground and eating our hearts out to find out what's going on up top. Whereas an even chance we'll be collared.
We don't want to miss anything. It's only human.
Yes, well, you know what it was that killed the cat, don't you? The streets are deserted. Utterly deserted.
There's a good many corpses lying about there. Undertaker's missing a treat, eh? It's a good job they're covered with the dust from the black smoke. Be pretty smelly otherwise.
Yeah.
That Martian sentinel a few streets away. He still isn't doing anything.
We'll get ready to bolt in case he does. We'll keep against the wall.
But he isn't even turning his cowl. He's a great sight with the sun on him, isn't he?
100 feet of shining steel. My God, look at that. That's a terrible hole they've knocked in St. Paul's. Half the buildings in the city and the Barbican seem to be in ruins.
Now, come on.
Where on earth are we?
The Charing Cross Road, of course.
Good Lord. So we are, of course. It's so empty I didn't recognise it.
Yeah, I don't wonder, mate. Everything's so unnatural.
What's that?
What?
Look, that one in front there's got flesh in its jaws.
Yeah, we better keep moving.
Look, let's head for Trafalgar Square.
No, it's too exposed. We don't want to be caught in the open. Holy cow, look over there!
Where?
Behind us!
Rats!
That's something I hadn't thought of. Oh, they're going to be tricky tenants if they take to the sewers with us.
There must be 400 or 500 of them.
Yeah, they'll be hunting in packs now.
Hordes of rats crossing Cambridge Circus in broad daylight.
They give me the willies, mate. We better keep out of their track.
Do you think they'd attack us?
Not until they can't find anything else, they won't. But when they get really hungry, well, we better watch it.
Oh, what a nasty thought. Grey, bloated bodies and teeth like razors.
I'm getting a bit tired, are you?
Yes, I am. I am a bit. When I think of the number of buses and cars I've seen pouring down this street.
You know what?
What?
London's become as boring as hell, ain't it? To think that the day had come and I'd find London dull.
Yes, me too. I'll tell you what, we might look around the National Gallery when we come to Trafalgar Square. If it hasn't been gutted, of course. I don't know, though. I mean, what the devil's the point of admiring pictures anymore? We might as well go back to that hotel.
Yeah, we might play some more chess or have another hand at cards.
It's funny how reading or discussing things or even thinking seriously has lost all its point.
What price social pleasures without any society?
Yes, I know. Why don't we find some tall building?
What?
Well, like the post office tower and break in.
Well, what for?
Well, we'd get a better idea of what's going on, for one thing. And think of the view. Have you noticed how clear the air is?
Yeah. Yeah, there's no sort of grime. A sort of sparkle about it.
Do you know what puzzles me?
What? The same thing that puzzles me? You mean, why aren't those fighting machines tramping about and tearing things down?
That's it. We can see 5 of them from here. They're all standing motionless. Stock still. Why?
Yeah, don't worry. They're probably just having a breather while they're thinking up the next move.
Just standing there. Like gleaming towers of machinery.
The lull before the storm.
I can't make it out.
Well, you think they're going to sleep?
No, I don't think Martians need sleep.
No?
Well, not from what I've seen of them. Their physical structure seems to be stronger and more economical than ours. I'm pretty certain their faculties keep working 24 hours a day.
Well, you think they'll run out of food, then? Run out of their human fodder?
Well, that seems more likely, but I can't believe it's true.
No. All that they've had to do would be to march north. There's plenty of people up there. Talk of the devil, come on!
It's that one over Green Parkway.
Quick! This doorway in here. Oh, what the hell's he hooting about?
Lord knows. He's not even rotating that cow.
What, you think it's the signal for a general attack or something?
There's nothing left to attack, is there?
Oh, I don't like this. They're all answering each other.
I think it's time we went to Earth for a while. Come on.
Yeah. We'll drop down in the tube for a time.
Oh, those blessed hooters give me the heebie-jeebies.
And there, sitting in the darkness on the steps of Trafalgar Square tube station, the lieutenant and I passed the loneliest, most silent, and most bewildered afternoon of our lives. We were in the middle of a dead world, a derelict world. But after 3 or 4 hours of it, with our nerves at snapping point, we made a whispered decision to return to the world above our heads. In the pit of our stomachs we had a strange feeling that something important, something uncanny had been taking place. So we slunk into Green Park, and by using the trees as cover, we eventually came close to that towering 3-legged monster of a fighting machine. Our hearts were in our mouths.
Keep back, will you? Keep back under the trees, for God's sake.
You know, those machines really are splendid, aren't they? Awe-inspiring. And stillness. Why doesn't it move? Why has it stopped hooting?
Why have they all stopped hooting?
You know, I'm not sure there's a Martian in the thing.
What, you mean at the controls?
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to go and have a closer look.
Yeah, I'll come with you.
No, you stay here.
What?
You stick close to the tree. Maybe a trap.
Yeah, all right then. But if the thing moves, we'll both take equal chances. You hear off in one direction and I'll hear off in the other.
Well, it'll probably catch us both anyway with those great 7-league boots of it.
Yeah. Hey, it's funny, those crows. Black masses of them flapping round the cow.
I don't think I've ever seen them cluster around anything quite like that before.
It's a wonder he don't flick them away with his tentacles, like flies.
Oh. I may as well go out.
Oh, you watch yourself. Keep your eyes skinned.
Uh-huh.
Well?
I can't make it out.
Well, is there any sign of anything in it?
I can't see anything. Hey! Something flopping on the grass. Will it hit me?
It's probably a crow.
It's blood.
Blood? What, human blood?
Human blood be damned! It's Martian blood! Martian blood!
What?
Look up there!
Where?
Under the cow! Look, the crows are biting and tearing, they're ripping it to pieces!
I can see. Shreds of brown.
But he's dead! He's dead!
Dead? Then they're all dead? The whole pack? All dead? The whole lot of them?
Perhaps that's why they're just standing around.
You know, and why they couldn't do no more than hoot at each other?
Because they were dying. Oh, yeah, but I don't understand. I mean,
what the hell's happened to them?
What's killed them?
Well, it can't all just come to an end like this. I don't know what's the reason for it. There must be an explanation.
Dead. 400 or 500 of them. And all their titanic fighting machines, their handling machines, their flying machines.
Harmless?
And when they were hooting, they were dying.
Oh, look at them. Tattered bits of red gristle. Oh, the stuff that's dripping down. Well, there she is. A great fighting machine that'll fight no more.
You know, that curate at Sheen would have said that this was a destruction of Sennacherib all over again.
That's a funny thing. Do you notice the red weeds beginning to wilt as well?
The weed?
Yeah, I noticed it as we were passing the Admiralty Yard. That mass of it twining round the buttresses was already withering. And the fronds in the fountains beneath Nelson's column.
Yeah, a cross between butcher's meat and pickled cabbage.
Yeah, well, it was dying too. Some sort of plant disease, I suppose.
haven't you got it?
What do you mean?
The explanation. You see? Why didn't we see it straight away?
Well, I don't get it.
It's disease. That's the answer.
Disease?
Bacteria, man.
Germs? That's what's killed them all.
Some little obscure bacillus, the humblest thing God ever placed on the earth.
Now, you can't expect me to believe that, Nicholson.
But it's perfectly true. Look, if we hadn't all been so scared, we'd have expected it. For millions and millions of years, the human race has been slaughtered by countless varieties of bacilli. Slowly, infinitely slowly, our bodies have learnt to resist them. Now we hardly know most of them are there. The centuries have hardened us, have inoculated us. The earth is ours, Lieutenant, ours, and it always will be. Man has bought his birthright by the toll of 1 billion deaths.
Then they were doomed all the time.
All the time.
Well, even while they were smashing things up, they were rotting away inside.
They started dying the moment they left their cylinders and began to breathe the air of our earth. It was that air that poisoned them.
Yeah, and drinking our blood, feeding on it.
Killed them all the quicker.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure I quite get the hang of it, Nicholson. I mean, presumably there's bacteria on Mars, too.
Yes, but apparently none of our kind. That's the important point.
I see.
Well, thank God for the bacillus, whichever one it was. Thank God for our microscopic allies.
Hey, the red weed. Look at those bushes of it over there. It's getting black blotches and greyish specks all over it.
Dying. In a fortnight, it'll all be swept away. We'll clean up all the mess, tidy up the debris, dismantle the fighting machines. The Martian reign of terror is over. Well, we haven't won a spectacular victory, I know, but we're alive, and they're all dead. And that's a victory, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose so. Still, it would have been great to have turned guerrillas and defied them.
You know, all of a sudden I feel very tired indeed. It's hard to believe it's all over.
All over?
This great blanket of fear that's been stifling us has gone.
Yeah. You know what? I'm a peacetime soldier again.
I can't seem to grasp it somehow. Nothing to be frightened of anymore.
Yeah, I know. A sort of weariness mixed up with excitement.
Yes, that's right. Yes. Like watching the dawn after you've been awake all night.
The air's so clear. It's good to breathe.
Yes. Yes. The earth's going to be fresh and green again, Lieutenant. And this great old dead city is going to come to life again. Lean-faced, unkempt, ragged, the Londoners came creeping back to their homes. It was a population of tramps. Bread and meat sent by foreign governments was distributed. Special constables with white armlets stood at the street corners. Primitive news sheets cost £1. The powder of the black smoke grimed all the buildings, and the red weed writhed everywhere in a livid death agony. The corpses lying in the street were decently gathered up, identified, and laid to rest. And after the first rush was over, I caught one of the free trains from Waterloo and set off with a heavy heart to find out if anything was left of my home. From a corner seat in an empty carriage, I bumped over the hurriedly improvised rails, staring greyly at the sunlit havoc flowing past the windows. I saw gaunt and blackened ruins, scarecrow men and women, shattered woods, sodden scarlet fronds blocking the streams and rivers, rusty Martian cylinders and fighting machines. And I came at last to Ottershaw,
to Maybury Hill, to my home. The front door had been forced. The curtains of the study window from which the lieutenant and I had watched that first empty dawn flapped in the wind. The window was still open. Inside the study, I found everything just as we had left it. There on my desk stood the mildewed loaf, the putrid joint, the empty whiskey bottle. The carpet was ruffled and discoloured where we'd tramped up and down it, shivering, scared, soaked to the skin. My home was desolate.
It's no use, my dear. The house is empty, quite empty. It's been empty for days. What's the use of tormenting yourself?
I don't know. There's always a chance. John and I are always so happy here.
My dear, I think you're very foolish.
Dora!
John! John, my dear.
Darling.
I came back. I knew you were still
Darling,
alive.
it's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
It was strange, very strange, to hold her in my arms and know that she had counted me among the dead. My reunion with Dora really brings to an end the part I played in the War of the Worlds. What about the rest of the story? How did it all end? Well, every schoolboy's been taken to see the almost complete Martian preserved at the Natural History Museum. And every day children play hide-and-seek in and out of the colossal legs of the fighting machine preserved as a war memorial on Primrose Hill. Of course, there's no doubt at all, that we owe the Martians a great debt, especially in the fields of aeronautics and engineering. By the way, we never found out how the generator of the heat ray actually worked. The frightful explosion at the Ealing laboratory, which resulted in over 70 deaths, made the analysts decide to leave well alone, at least for the present. And as for the black smoke, well, the spectrum analysis showed an unknown element. A totally unknown element. But there's another side to it, you know.
Another side to it?
Certainly. A question of grave and universal interest.
Oh, don't sound so pompous. Question of grave and universal interest. Ah, come on, what are you being so solemn about?
Is John on his hobby horse again?
Yeah, I'm afraid so, Dora.
I suppose he's trying to convince you we're due for another attack from Mars at any minute.
Yeah, I got an uneasy feeling he was coming round to something of the kind.
He's been harping on the same theme for weeks now.
Is that so?
He gives lectures on it.
You're all the same. You're all the same. Do you remember how poor Ogilvy scoffed when I first told him what those flashes meant? And as for Jimmy Stent...
Ah, but there haven't been any more launchings, have there?
No.
Thank heavens for that.
But we mustn't congratulate ourselves too soon.
Why?
Something almost equally disturbing has happened.
What?
John?
We've just had a report from Halley. Professor Latrobe says that when Mars and Venus were in opposition last month, a strange thing happened. Some odd, luminous, sinuous markings appeared on the dark part of Venus. I'm waiting for Latrobe's photographs now. Now, so far as I know, these markings are unique.
Well, it's all Greek to me. What makes it disturbing?
Latrobe believes that the Martians have landed on Venus.
On Venus?
Of course, we can't say for certain yet.
Yeah, but why Venus? Do you think they found out what happened to the little lot that landed here?
Perhaps. As far as we know, that first pioneer party hadn't made any arrangements to return to Mars. They don't seem to have brought any machinery for it anyway. Of course, they may have been in communication in some way.
Yeah, well, you keep your eyes glued to your telescope, mate.
Oh, we'll be able to spot the rockets coming, all right. But there's another aspect we mustn't overlook.
What's that?
We know now that we can no longer regard this planet as man's own little private paradise.
Yeah, well, that's true enough.
John, do stop. It frightens me when you talk
I'm
like
sorry,
this.
my dear, but we've got to face up to realities. The War of the Worlds taught us one thing. We've got that, at least, to thank for it. Before that cylinder buried itself on Horsell Common, we didn't know, we weren't really certain whether in all the depths of space there was any living matter beyond the tiny surface of our own planet. But now, we're wiser.
Come on, you two.
And another
dinner's
thing.
Ready.
If the Martians can reach Venus, then why can't we? You know why the Martians landed here, don't you?
John, darling, dinner.
Because Mars was cooling, that's why. Because they were freezing to death. And one day we are going to freeze to death too. The Earth is going to become uninhabitable. It's bound to. But perhaps when that happens, we can prolong the thread of our life by flying to Venus.
Colonel, lead the way, will you? I'm afraid John's quite hopeless.
Oh, yeah. Come on, John. The war of the world is over.
Over? I wonder. Perhaps it's only just begun.
In the final part of The War of the Worlds, adapted by John Manship White from the novel by H.G. Wells, Paul Daneman played John Nicholson, Anthony Jackson, the lieutenant, and Isabel Renie, Dora. The sound score was by David Kane of the BBC Radiophonic Workshop, and the serial was produced by John Powell.